I just want to have an excuse to say it. My Matrix, my love for the Matrix. So what's been good with you, man?
Ain't shit, bro. I got some good rest, some needed rest. Fucking sleeping patterns been all over the place. But yeah, man, Guilty Gear Strive was dope last night. That shit, like,
I knew it was going to be. And I
that
was
shit
like,
had me looking up tech, bro. I was like, damn. I was like, man, let me.
tech.
You know what I'm saying? I was
Mm,
like, I haven't gone in trainer mode in a while, bro. After playing with Giovanna, I was like, damn, let me go look at some combos, bro. Trying to get some ideas
What do you mean
for
tech?
some. Just tech, as in like just finding different ways to fight with the character.
Techniques.
Yeah, techniques and shit. Yeah,
All right, I
trophy
was trying to
techniques.
figure that. I was thinking you meant technicalities. I was like, wait, what?
Not technology or anything, like just the techniques for the character. So I couldn't see that one of the moves I was supposed to use to continue her combos was the light kick, just like Faust. She kind of used that move
Right,
similar to
what
extend her
like kit?
combos. Not light kick. I keep calling it. It's the kick button. Her kick, her standing kick button.
And
You
what
use
about
that to
and what
extend her combos.
and what about Faust?
Faust uses that kick in the same manner to where
What
he
does
can
it look like?
you know the little kick where he like turns around and does like a horse
Oh,
kick
the
to you
little
with one leg.
yeah.
Yeah, funny ass little horse kick.
That shit is a good anti-air.
Yeah, man, I be like, bruh, if you know how broken that kick would be. Oh my god, if it hit people when they're like crouching, that move would be
Yeah, that would be
OD, bruh.
super because it comes up pretty well. At least for Faust, it comes up
hmm
decently quick.
Because sometimes I catch myself playing this game like I'm playing Street Fighter, and I always whiff that move over people. I'm like, bruh, y'all so lucky this fucking move don't do what I wanted to do. Because I'll
Which
be
one?
going
Mine
ham
or
on these.
Faust or
Faust's kick.
that's
Because I be trying
fucking
to use it
donkey
like I'm
kick.
playing Street Fighter, but that little kick, I was like, bruh, I could keep continuing pressure, but it whiffs over their head every time. So I'm
That
like,
shit, wow.
whatever I'm trying to do, I need to replace that muscle memory, which I'm trying to do with another button, because I keep going to that button. I'm like, fuck. I just wasted my go. Like I wasted my turn. But yeah, Guilty Gear been fire, bro. How about you? What you been playing, fool?
Um, I'm about to get back into Demon Souls, man. So before I even go in there, yo,
Mhm.
welcome, guys. Who that? Killer Tay? Who that? Let me see. Is it him? Yeah.
Psycho, I see Psycho up in here. He early today. What's up with you,
That's
bro?
Psycho. That's Psycho, man. What's good with you, fam?
Psycho. Yeah.
Hey, fucking, I can't do it, yo. I always cough when I
Hey,
do
yeah.
it. That's Psycho, man. It's okay. I saw you saying something. I can't hear it.
Hey, what's good, bro?
That nigga sound crunchy. You
I got
sound,
something to say.
you know it. Yo, stop gassing me up
Hey, man,
on those. Stop gassing me up on those instrumentals, man.
I got some shit. That shit was wrong though.
I
Putting it out
appreciate it.
there. I like it. You made it for me, so I appreciate that. That's all I'm saying.
It's like half complete. So I just wanted to get the preliminaries down. You feel me? But
Yeah, I hear it. No, no.
now I want to say this. I'm not sure where you sound all crunchy like that.
What about now? Clear?
It's better, but it still sounds like there's a lot of breaking up.
My bad. All right, hold on. I'll mute. See it. Hold on.
Now you're starting to sound better. Either way, we're gonna get this shit going. Hopefully, we're not gonna spend too long on it. I just wanted to get some thoughts out. Just wanted to put some shit out there. Explain some shits to people. So all of this is all tied together here. We're gonna talk about these three subjects. Before we go on, we definitely want to. I want to introduce everyone. We have Psycho Manus in the building. He's having some technical difficulties, but he'll be here in a second. We have Magnificent Black as always. What's going on, fool?
Chilling. What up? What up? What up? Let's get to the topics, bro.
I'm pretty sure that you already heard what we were talking about, and you asked me what I was playing. Demon
hmm
Souls. I want to play that again. I had to like really like restart my whole build and everything like that because it's been almost a year, shockingly, that I have played that game. And let me tell you, man, that bitch is beautiful, man. Holy shit, that's a good looking game, my dude.
Sir.
I forgot about it. I don't know what eyes I had when I first got my PS5. But I was like, it's alright. I went back to it again. I said, oh shit.
Yep.
I fucking backed up. I was like, wait a minute. So good. It's really good shit. It's really good looking. And I'm also playing Guilty Gear, but one of the problems that I'm having with Guilty Gear, so now I kind of got the mechanics going on. I don't like the online system. It's just so cumbersome, man. Fuck in the hell, it is cumbersome like a motherfucker, yo. It takes too long to connect to people. When you do, like, it's the loading is fast. It's fine. It's tolerable. It's okay. But yeah, if you go into a room, sometimes they have people in there. Sometimes it's full of people, and you can't even get like talk to people. Sometimes people are like really overzealous, and they'll look at your rank and then back out. Sometimes they take too fucking long. I'm like, all right, dude. So I'm gonna go back into the lab. Probably split my time when I'm playing the game, going through the single player like I always do, just to learn different. Go to the lab, fuck around, go into the single player and see what I can get away with, and then fight actual people, one or the other.
Yeah.
That's what I'm planning on doing. But without further ado, we're gonna get into these topics. First topic. Who are PC gamers exactly? Why is this channel talk about PC gamers? Because I like gaming. More specifically, I like PlayStation gaming. And in order for you to understand what Sony is doing, you need to understand where they're going. What is the reasoning as to why they are going to the PC? It is a lot more complicated than what you think it is. It is not they're abandoning consoles. It's way more nuanced than I thought it was when I did my research, and I'll go over those numbers. The second topic is going to be PC versus cell phones. Why am I talking about cell phones? Because gaming is on cell phones, and I'm a fucking gamer that have a preference in PlayStation platforms. I'm going to talk about gaming, period, point blank. But more importantly, I want people to understand that each platform, console, mobile, and PC, have their own demographic, and which ties into the first topic as to why Sony is trying to spill into the PC market. Every device has its purpose. You are not getting rid of the fucking PC because some exclusive. You're not going to the PC because of some exclusives, or even all of them, day and date or not, are going to the PC. There is a specific reason as to why PC or console gaming exists, and I want to show you the difference between cell phones. Everything a cell phone can do, a PC can do, and better at that. But yet you go online and you do it on your cell phone. When you watch your pornography, if you're a red-blooded American, you're going to go on your cell phone. All of this shit's convenient. Period. You can do it on your PC, but you always land on your fucking cell phone for some reason. So there's obviously reasons for it. And let's be adults here. Let's be adults. This isn't a fucking channel for the squeamish. That's why it's called No Filter. I say what the fuck I want to say. All right? I know some people coming there, oh, he's talking about porno. Jesus, no homo. I don't give a fuck. Get your ass out of here if you don't like it. The last thing I want to talk about is the evolution of PSN, how it started and where it's going. Because I believe personally that Sony is going to use the PSN platform as exclusive content, not giving you games, but it gives you more of a reason to stick with the console itself. That's what I believe. We're going to get into it. Let's start off with the first topic. So I'm going to go over some statistics. I was already going over it with Black. Black and we were talking about this shit before the podcast started, just to kind of get our bearings. And some of the things I shared to Black, and I went over in the detail. So I'm just going to spare you the details. We found out that about 35% of all gamers, that is mobile, PC, and console games, out of that 100%, 35 of that. He said, I'm drunk as fuck right now. Look at this killer Tay.
Feel better, bro.
Get in if you want. How you get drunk? Fucking with the neighbors.
Tell him to get him a greasy ass sandwich.
Yup. Sop all that alcohol up.
You know what I'm saying? You need to-
slow that alcohol. I hope he did it beforehand. Because you ever waste alcohol because you ate too much and you drink that shit had no fucking effect.
Yeah.
You're like, man, I didn't pay like $25 for this fucking drink and it did nothing. Ain't this a bitch? Anyway, out of 100%, 35% are PC gamers. And out of that 35% of PC gamers are actual gamers, right? Okay, stand by walking from my neighbor's house. This nigga is about to collapse. Out of the 35 gamers, they are including gamers that uses Facebook or Meta, I guess that's what it's called now, as gamers. You know, the little games, the web browser games and shit like that. They're using that too. Any form of gaming on the PC is accounted for in the 35%. So that was already interesting. What they also figured out is that retention of customers on mobile games are poor. They don't really play games. They're not invested. So this is the reason why there is a push to either have services what makes you invested by give you new content or multiplayer or co-op games, which leads into the top games, active games on PC. This is the thing that kind of like blew me away, right? Is out of all of this, where did I fucking find that list here? That's bestsellers. I don't need that. I'm just a bitch. I'm sorry, guys. That's annoying. We found out that stuff like World of Warcraft and all this other shit are very, 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 very popular on PC, as we already know, right? If you didn't know, this is only exclusive on PC. Like this, I'm only reading PC shit, right? Where's my active fucking users on PC? Where's that number? I synced it. And now it's going.
Yeah, meet the meat, nigga.
Look at this.
The
He
meat.
sound fucked up.
What up, boy?
I knew you was fucking around with them white folk.
Hey, man.
Ah, shit.
I have to talk to you
Nigga.
about that, yo. I'm just curious on what you think. I can't find my shit.
Nigga.
All right. I'm just gonna have to move on. Okay, so we're gonna have to move on. We found out that the top games for sales on PC is Battlegrounds or PUBG. It sold 42 million. Minecraft. This is only on PC, by the way. Minecraft sold 33 million. Diablo 20 million. Gary's Mod 20 million. World of Warcraft 14 million. Half-Life 12 million. The Witcher 12 million. Sims 11 million, and it keeps going further and further down. One of the things that's curious about all these games is that these games are actually multiplayer or some sort of cooperative. So where am I going with this? It looks like the fucking PC gamers are playing little multiplayer games or co-op games, something that you interact with other people. This is the reason why I was saying it before with engagement. They want to keep you engaged. Yo, King Push was good, homie. So they want to keep you engaged.
What up?
One of the things that is not purchased that much or that often, other than The Witcher, is single player story driven games. And this is probably one of the reasons why Sony wants to put their games on there. It is untapped potential. PC niggas don't really be fucking with single player games like that. And in the single player games that are there, and guess what? No one's feeling that because it's not that great. You know, The Witcher is the tempo of fucking games, unfortunately, on PC. So why not utilize it? Sony already knows. Well, what's going? Oh, that's fucking cycle. So Sony already knows. They already know that there's a market for that, and it doesn't cross pollinate with their consoles. So even if it does go day and date, there is a reason as to why. Who the hell is that?
It's me, nigga. Killer tight, nigga.
Hold on, wait a minute. I'm going to hold the fuck up.
I'm at home. I'm
Oh shit, he on
in the back.
camera.
Yeah, nigga, I'm at
He-
home. I'm in the back.
He got the liquid courage. That nigga was hiding all this time. We got his face.
That drink.
No, we enlarging it. Enlarge.
Yeah.
Enlarge.
Stop.
Oh, nigga said large.
Enlarge.
Yo. Hey,
Let me
them
put it
co-op
back.
games are the ones that co-op only,
Mhm.
don't have multiplayer on it. Those are considered single player games because you named Diablo.
Oh, dude.
Diablo is a single player co-op game.
Yeah, but how are people playing it though? Mostly because we can see active users as well and what they're doing.
Most on Diablo, they mostly playing it by itself on PC.
What are they doing?
Unless they got a friend. You rarely see somebody playing with multiple people on Diablo.
Now I got some PC niggas, and everyone that actually plays Diablo, they are playing with their friends, either online or together. They bring their laptops together.
Yeah, but them the handful. They're the handful of people.
I don't know how
on Diablo.
violent your shit is. Let me take a look here. So Umar says, and none of those games are console centric games. Yeah, that's the reason why Sony is making their move there, because the only high quality single player game that's like story driven would be The Witcher and Half-Life. And Half-Life was decades away, or decades ago, or almost 2 decades ago, and then you have The Witcher. So why not? Even if Sony released, because most of the games they make is single player games anyway. Most of the games that they make, if it was day and date, even if it is, because I feel like ponies, they like to split hairs just to try to win an argument as well.
Oh yeah.
If Sony decides, right? This is funny. If Sony decides to release 80% of their big titles, right? And games that are very small or indie games that are made by them doesn't go, well, indie games don't get purchased like those big AAA games. Who the fuck cares at that point in time? Their major games are going to the PC, and that's all that really fucking matters. No one's running around talking about some, yo, I got Gravity Rush, yo, bam. They ain't saying that shit. They're talking about The Last of Us, man. So we're not going to split hairs here. That's not what we're going to do.
Yo,
who that is?
I already can see it now. That next Last of Us is going to be co-op.
So you talking about? Oh yeah. So to me, there's two things that Sony is doing: releasing because there's a huge gap in single player games. That the single player story driven games, there's a huge gap that Sony wants to fucking fill. And on top of it is engagements, right? Oh, I can't wait to get to the other topics. I'm not sure who jumped in there. I can't see it.
That's Fatal.
That's Fatal. Yo, what's going on, Fatal? I can't even hear his ass. But like, yeah, eventually Sony's going to start to do co-op or multiplayer games with the same kind of quality you expect from Sony. That's how they're going to try to get in there. Now,
so what changed?
I can't hear you chopping up.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Now you're not. So
bullshit.
Now you are. This nigga. I have to turn this nigga down, yo. I'm
on my fucking fast hotspot, bro. So if you're lagging, that's on you, bitch, not me.
No, you so loud, you fucking clipping. That's what I'm saying. Move that microphone. Yo, move that microphone outside the door.
It is outside the door.
And then go back inside.
Hold on, I have a better idea. Hold on.
But the number one game on Steam right now is New World, which is an MMO. PC gamers just don't.
Yeah, that just came out.
Yeah, they don't be checking for single players. Even God of War shot up to the charts, right? And then fell. A meteoric rise and collapse. A flash in the pan. It'll do some numbers, but remember, it's not that they don't want PC gamers don't want it. They're just not used to it. You know, they're not used to those.
Not that PC gamers don't want it because they don't give a shit. They feel like they're obligated to have everything, but they actually don't want it.
I don't think that's the case, man. I think that there's a vocal minority. Unfortunately,
motherfucker, that's how the PC community has always been.
I know PC people, and it was. I mean, you got
so do I.
Yeah. Let me finish. So, and all in all, with all of that being said, that's the reasoning as to why Sony is doing what they're doing. They want engagements. They want you to stay engaged, which eventually they're going to start doing cooperative games with these, probably like a hybrid between like
No fucking time they are.
story-driven games with that's cooperative, like cutscenes within a cooperative mode and stuff like that. If you ever played Killzone 3, they had these operations levels, which they had
Garbage.
they had like a high level of cutscenes and shit like that within the actual co-op. That's why I think that that's the direction that they're going. Nigga, can
It'll
I
be the
talk?
Last of
God
Us
fuck!
factions.
Would you say again, Ed?
Oh, I was just saying, like that title is going to be the Last of Us factions. That's going to be the title that bridges it.
But that shit is gonna be free to pay. Market,
Man,
free to pay.
it's a shame too as well that the PS4 was technically the only generation where fucking Sony didn't really release a whole lot of multiplayer games.
They didn't do it because they didn't get the returns that they were expecting. Because that was all that they did with the PS3.
No. Let's be real here. They found their niche when Horizon Zero Dawn fucking flew off the fucking shelves. And they're like, okay, we found our story narrative fucking aspect template, and that's what we're doing.
This was way before then. The thing is, the thing is that they released so many so many multiplayer games, whether it be co-op or actual multiplayer, and they were competing A with each other and B with third party and lost. They cannibalized their fucking sales and they lost to Call of Duty, Halos, and Gears.
They suck at making multiplayer.
No, they don't. So anyway,
yes, they do.
What I'm going to do is hand it to you guys when it comes to this. What do you guys think about all of that information I just dumped in this podcast right now? Start with Tay.
It don't mean nothing.
Is it accurate? Is it not accurate?
Is that off of Steam by itself or
mostly Steam? Mostly Steam.
Huh? That's mostly Steam.
Yeah, I mean it was some other things. I had to consolidate it because it was like too
I'm
much.
surprised CS:GO ain't still on there.
It is. It's number one.
Depending on CS:GO.
CS:GO is number one.
Yeah,
that's PC flagship. So
I don't know, man.
Do you think? Let me ask you a question. You're going. Before you continue your thought.
Go ahead.
No, continue your thought, and then I'll ask you the question.
I don't know, man, because I mean that makes sense that they're trying to hit up that single player market on the PC side.
Mm-hmm.
Whether these PC guys jump in on that or not is totally up in the air right now.
It is. And it's a risk that they're willing to take. What about you, Black?
Like with that information, like we know that Sony just ain't gonna do shit without doing research, right? So they know what type of gamers are playing on PlayStation. So they got the information, probably more information than what we've gone over today. More than likely, because they got people they more than likely are paying to research that type of shit. So I feel like in correlation to that and making the moves that they are making, they probably see that yes, there's not a lot of players on this base on PC that's playing those games, but there's a lot of players there that haven't been exposed to those type of games, as you said before. So what they're trying to do is they're exposing them to these games, making it readily available for them, so that when they try them, hopefully they can get them hooked, and then it could be a day where they actually go day and date. I know a lot of people don't want that, but shit, Sony wants it. You hear the talk that Jim Ryan talking about? That's what they want. So it's gonna happen one day. I don't think it's gonna happen as soon as some people think it's gonna happen, but I think it's definitely gonna happen, though. That's where the money's at.
Now I'm gonna put a pin.
He's already said, if I can finish real quick.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
As he already said, the consoles being able to not be able to produce as much consoles as the demand is asking for right now. That's a problem, especially when you're trying to get some money out.
A big problem.
But what I said was, if they're gonna, I see where you're going with that. But what I say was, if they're gonna continue to go on this path of putting all their games on PC, they have to make it to where it's integrated how Xbox has it. That's one thing I could say that Xbox is doing great. They ain't got no motherfucking games.
What do you mean by integrated? What do you mean? Can you explain, please?
So PSN. So that's going to be one of our topics here, the evolution of PSN.
It will.
Right. So the evolution of PSN, it has to be integrated into PC. I need to be able to log on to my PSN and play the games that I own on my PlayStation 5 and my PlayStation 4 digitally on my PC. Maybe not all the games, but you need to have a base where you're able to get access. Yeah, you need to be able to access your game. At least the PlayStation Network games, at least. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because they still have to go through third party, and then they got to get permission for that. But I should be able to play all my PlayStation Studio games on my PC.
When
If
it
that's
goes
what
Well,
they're
if
gonna
they
do.
separate that,
All,
make
all
it
of
so
those
they
games
don't
that are
have
on
to do all that
PC, and if
crap.
I bought it on PlayStation, I should be. I shouldn't have to double dip.
So
You know what I'm saying?
So I want to say this too. This is the one thing I want to say, and I'm gonna address you more about what you're saying because that's important too. And there's an answer for that. So it's only 200 million console across, across everybody. The industry just did not expand at all. That's the biggest problem. It's not doing the expansion that they wanted. The only way to fix this issue is to go outside of the realm of the consoles. You know what I'm saying? And these games are getting bigger and bigger and more costly, and yet the user base isn't growing. So that's the bigger problem. So here's the thing, though. With all of that being said, right? Um, people can hate Jim Ryan all they want. I don't like his face either. He's not a gamer. He's a businessman. But
Yeah, that
even when
motherfucker look like a snake.
he does, even when he was focused,
Serpent.
even when he was focused in Europe, his numbers speak for itself. It's year over year fucking profits with this nigga, yo. This nigga ain't going nowhere. And he kind of knows what he's doing. We don't like it, but he's making the company money. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that we won't like, but it is what it is. To address what Umar says, he says, and what if they don't get their return with the multiplayer games this time? That's why they didn't make the multiplayer games. That's why they're being very selective with the multiplayer games. Now Sony has a name in terms of quality, and so they're going ham on it. You know what I'm saying? Or at least they double down on it.
I got a question for that year-over-year profit in Europe, though. Was that year-over-year profit more than the year-over-year profit that was in the United States?
I can't remember. It's either neck and neck or a little more. Europe was their town. That was their country. So
Yeah, I know. And this was during the time. The reason why I'm thinking is why I'm saying I asked that because, okay, if the states year-over-year profit was more than the Europe, then why didn't they
pick him?
choose Sean Layden?
Because his numbers spoke louder than Sean Layden's. He just, I think in Europe he did better. You know what I mean? And then when he finally hired him to take care of the whole entirety of PlayStation, the PS5 is selling more than the PS4. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So that being said, the other thing that he says here, he says, what if it's a no-go? Well, first of all, PC gaming or the consoles going, the console gaming, the exclusive going to the PC, they're already making their money back. They're already making profit off of that already. So that's the fucking problem here. Moving on to, are they going to keep making multiplayer games? They got to be selective in the type of games that they play because they learned a lot from the PS3 era. The PS3 era had them cannibalizing each other. You had Killzone and what do you call it? Competition with Uncharted, which was in competition of this game and that game, and it wasn't that many users. You had to compete for their time, and that's a big issue. Competing with people's time. You can't have all those multiplayer games and expect everybody to play it. Even though you have a group of people, like let's say 80 million, and the most that you would probably get is probably like 5 million people playing at most for different games, it still cannibalizes. And it's something that's not really, shut up, Ken, shut. So that being said, he says the problem will go away eventually in terms of the sales of the console. Is it? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of people wanting them chips. It's probably not, even with the shortages, man. It outsold the Wii U, which is fucking, or the Wii U, Jesus, the Switch that is cheaper to make. It's just cheaper in general, and it's still outselling the motherfuckers. And the games are going out for
They
PC
just started
and
to
still.
outsell it.
Hold on, I get to you. It is selling more even with the PlayStation, even with the PlayStation going to PC. Now, yeah, it was Killzone versus SOCOM versus Resistance versus Mag versus Uncharted. You can't do that no more. That's why they want to, and no one's doing single player games like that. No one cares about the single player games, because everybody wants to do multiplayer. So Sony was like, "Hey, fuck it, y'all want to do multiplayer? Fine, we get the single player," and they found success in that.
Well, I mean,
Fatal.
everybody's found success in single player.
Yeah, because it's an oversaturation. It's the problem with, competing with time. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about all of this? All of the information that I kind of dropped in here, and what's your thoughts on it? Do you think that Sony is making a mistake, or do you think they are onto something? Fatal.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad, brother. My bad. No, actually, I do not think they are making a mistake at all. Fucking period, man. I think they're making the right call. Like you said earlier, freaking budgets are going up. Sony needs to find a way to recoup from that because the player base is not expanding. You're absolutely right about that. And that's just how the future is as a whole in general. Nintendo is the only company you don't have to worry about doing that shit.
Who?
Because they're always going to have their fucking loyalty and fucking handheld side of
Nintendo.
it
Yeah.
thrive on. But as far as Sony goes, like Magnificent, you said earlier too, right, about having like an actual storefront on PC, and Sony would be fucking retarded to do that. Why would they do that, man? Like, if they want people to come to their console, you know what I'm saying? You don't attach fucking any of that shit. And I'm glad so far they haven't done that. Because to be fair, like, unless you're a hardcore Steam fanatic, dude, you ain't fucking giving a shit about Steam achievements. Let alone with these games being released on like Epic, and Epic's just coming out with their own achievement system and whatnot. Sony ain't got time for that shit. And what better way, like I said, though, man? Like, you're not going to pull anybody in if you actually have the entire storefront on the fucking PC side. That's literally telling your family, like telling those people, hey, we don't want you over here. Stay where you are. Fuck you.
Is that more racist talk?
No. Man, you really gotta stop doing that.
Jim Ryan's comments about the issues with hardware, they disagree with your how you feel about what Sony should do. Jim Ryan feels like the hardware is keeping them from selling their potential amount of sales. I don't want those games to go to PC because, like I said, I'm scared about the quality dropping. But if they've already told us that that's what they're going, bro. And day and date it's not gonna happen right away, but we know that that's just gonna happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't about how I feel or how you feel. I feel like it's a dumbass move too, but they feel like they want more money, so it's the greed that's driving them, of course. So whatever moves they make, man, it is what it is. I'm gonna try to play the games.
I'm disagreeing with you. Like, they're just gonna keep doing it how they're doing it now with like Horizon and Days Gone, whatever you want to call it. They're not gonna put a PSN profile thing behind it on the PC side.
We're gonna talk about that too.
I think that's gonna be a miss because eventually they're gonna have to put the games on Steam, and then they're losing
the game's already on Steam,
a good portion.
No,
but I'm saying
like about getting a launcher.
Look, they're talking about getting. If they keep putting their games on Steam, they're giving Steam their profit. They're giving up profit. They're giving up 30% at least. We don't know what Steam's charging, but they charging a big penny to put their games on there, especially for big studios like Sony
to have access to their user base because many people
they're paying a big penny for that. Yep. So I don't know if they want to keep giving that up. That don't sound smart to me.
The reason why they're doing it is for exposure. They want to get people acclimated to it, and then they're going to go and make a launcher or whatever the case is. I'm pretty sure of that. Now you must understand this, right? He's not chasing the ghost, man. He's on it. He's on to something. The thing about it is, right? Sony is like you said before. They don't want to be tied down to hardware anymore because hardware is not where it's at. Now, are they going to abandon it? Absolutely not. They're not going to abandon it because what a console is, and this is why we're going to actually go on to our next subject. Well, actually, no. I have to get Ed's. Yo, Cycle. And then we move on to the next thing. What do you have to say about all this information? You were here from the beginning.
I mean, I agree that moving towards PC is a smart move. Definitely. You can just look at. I use PC and PlayStation, right? And you can tell that Steam the amount of people and users that use that are like off the charts, right? But they do not get the experience that a PlayStation first party gives you. I mean, they're winning game awards every year. Why not share that to the other ecosystem? Starting off with like the first generation of these games, like Horizon Zero Dawn, Days Gone, Death Stranding.
Those are all.
I mean, all these
awards, by the way, for the record.
It doesn't matter. Even if you look at it, the experience is not quite like Sony's, regardless of how you look at it. It's not the
Yeah,
same.
but it's not.
And I don't want to jump forth, but I have some more information to drop when it comes to the evolution of the PSN, because I think this or the game trials thing that they're starting that we haven't gotten yet will tie into this whole PSN and PC experience.
Yes, it's happening. It's happening. What they want to do, they're temporarily using Steam to get people wet their taste. Opening their storefront to the people would be pointless. No, it wouldn't be pointless, because what Black said, you need
And
to
if
have
that was true, oh, go ahead.
on,
I'm sorry,
no,
my
go
bad.
on, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, like, when they're saying that PlayStation on PC doesn't need a launcher, then wouldn't that be the same? The same could be said about Xbox and Game Pass having their own launcher, right? Even though that you can buy their games on Steam, yet people who have Game Pass on PC have to open up the Xbox launcher on that, right?
Which, for the record, the vast majority of people are buying the game on Steam and they're not playing it on Game Pass, because Game Pass on PC is dog shit.
See,
Like, the
it's
way
always
fucking
Sony is
the
always. I
functionality
mean,
of it is and shit.
Microsoft is always fucking four steps forward and 3 steps back, man. Like, they always shoot themselves in the foot. They have the
Yeah, but at
potential
the same
to
time,
destroy
Sony has
everybody.
the right to say no, though.
No to what?
No to like the direction that the industry is going. If Sony wanted to chill back, man, they can.
If they
They
say
could have said
if,
no to the MLB fucking deal.
if
and
they
let
say
EA rule
no,
that
if
shit.
they say no, everybody's trying to make money though. That's the point.
No. I understand that, and I'm getting that part, but I'm looking at it from the perspective of the company itself toward its viewership of its fan base. Like, a lot of the fans fucking are making it. Like, I get the complaints and stuff of that. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, fucking, like, if Sony truly did not want to do this, they wouldn't be fucking doing it. Especially if they had that much fucking investment in their actual fucking fan base, man, to deal with the back, like being able to get all that money back for all the games that they make and not have to worry about that shit. But clearly, the fan base ain't doing their job no more.
Well, it's not
So-
because ultimately, and we are going to get into this next subject. Ultimately, it doesn't matter in terms of the launcher. Black said this, and he's absolutely right. The situation goes as follows: if Sony releases a launcher that when you buy a game, it is playable across all platforms. Steam, PC, PlayStation. You just buy the game once. They've done this shit before with the Vita. You can buy a Vita game when it first got jumping, and you can play it on your PlayStation. It's a different version, of course, but you bought 2 versions essentially, and you can play with each other as well. If they can make that cohesiveness, then it would make sense to have a launcher. You being able to go back and forth. Moving on to the next topic, and this is going to tie in to what we were talking about. So let me see here. This chat is popping right now. Ooh, yo, Umar passionate about this shit. Damn. Hold on, let me go back. Oh, let me go up. If Sony were to put a launcher on the storefront, I'm saying on my PS5, there would be literally no reason to own a console, which is why I believe they would
Jackpot,
never
that
do
goes
it.
against what Jim Ryan fucking was saying.
Hold on.
in the interview.
No. Jim Ryan did not say that he wasn't going to put a launcher on there. Absolutely not. He never said that.
No.
That's just coming, though.
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that fucking, why would he do something like that when he said in an interview that he wants people from the PC side to come over to the PlayStation side and buy their shit?
He wants.
If you put a launcher on the fucking PC side, dude, with like an
We're going to get to
No.
it.
If he put a launcher on the PC side, that they still going into their fucking ecosystem. So it don't matter either way. Whether they get the PlayStation or not, if they go into that storefront that Jim Ryan put on fucking PC, they still in the fucking PlayStation ecosystem, which is where he wants.
Well, yeah, that's true.
We're going to get into it. The way that I structured the topics, it unravel What were you saying, Black? You were saying something?
No, I'm saying this. So, all right. So we quoting that quote, right? But we got to quote everything he said. He in another interview, he said that he's frustrated with how things are, how limiting the hardware situation is. So he might have that take a year ago when y'all quoted that shit, but he got another take on it another day. We got to keep up with the times, bro. He said multiple shit. He goes back on his word, just
You know
like
who
Phil
else said
Spencer.
multiple
We
shit?
we
That
calling
also shit
him
as well
Phil
that goes
Ryan
against
for a
what
Hold
reason,
you're
on,
about
bro.
to
one at a
say.
time. One at a time. One at a time.
We're saying, look, we calling him Phil Ryan for a reason, bro. Because businesses have to be fluid. They have to be flexible, bro. They seeing shit. He might have that take last year, bro. But when he came out for the last interview, he said he's frustrated with the hardware situation. And then he starts talking about what their initiative for PC. Like, bro, come on, man. It's in the cards, bro.
It
I
No,
is.
mean,
no, I know.
if
I
y'all niggas
understand
can't put
that he's
two and two
contradicting
together, that's
himself. I
on
get
y'all.
that
Y'all
part.
gonna be the ones that's
I
gonna be
get that part. I
surprised.
mean, well, then again, no. I mean, Sony has a bad tendency of doing that a lot. Actually, look at Andrew House. We don't see PC as our competition. Then after he left,
Yeah, so PC.
now
You see,
PC's the
look, Umar,
competition.
you're right. PC guys don't want to use another launcher. But if I sway or I just get the PC guy to play this fucking game, then they like, fuck, man. All I gotta do is download this fucking launcher. They keeping me from playing this game on Steam. All I gotta do
Oh,
is download
trust
this
me.
fucking launcher to go play Horizon Forbidden West. Damn, you know what? I'm gonna bite the fucking bullet. It's gonna be some people that's gonna go over
There's
there
also going to be
to
a lot
play
of
that
people that
game, bruh.
aren't going to do that.
And that's
No,
how
There's
they're
a lot of
doing
people
it
it.
that
does.
do
Look,
that.
if they want to take users away from Steam, which is probably the long goal, if you want to make some fucking money on PC, that's where it's at. Steam doesn't have any competition because there's nobody who's pursuing them. They're not doing anything that Steam's not doing. If Steam doesn't have PlayStation games, then and there's users that want to play PlayStation games, they have to go to PlayStation. It's
Yo,
the
I
supply and
love
demand.
I
It's
love the
simple shit,
passion.
bro.
I love the passion,
Yo,
yo. I didn't know I was doing it like that. All right, go on, Tech.
It's
yo,
simple, bro. All you gotta do is create the demand, bro, and then people will go where they have to
all
go to
they
get that shit, bro.
all they got
You're
all they
talking
gonna
about
do
PC gamers
Hold
there.
on, one at a
yo
time. Tech.
all they gonna do is put a fucking launcher on the fucking Steam app. That's all they're gonna do, and they still gonna be
Yep.
That's
in
what
the
they have to do.
PlayStation ecosystem. If they put that launcher on fucking Steam, right?
Mhm.
You'll still be able to get your fucking trophies regardless. On top of fucking Steam achievements.
See,
So that's just that's doubling the incentive for fucking PC players.
this is what I was saying too,
They
right?
still don't have to buy a PlayStation. They don't have to buy a
Yep.
PlayStation, but they still in that PlayStation ecosystem.
And that's the end goal. But at the same time, we're gonna go into our next topic. PC versus cell phones. And the reason why I called it this is so people can picture and visualize what's happening. How many of you in the panel browse the web on your cell phone?
All the time.
Every day.
All of us.
All of us, right? Do you why don't you go on your PC?
I do go on my PC.
Being
Because I'm on the
streamer.
move a lot. I'm a
Mhm.
truck driver.
Mhm.
Forgot.
No, I didn't forget. I'm asking
Portable.
it's portable, it's convenient, right? I'm asking that but you still use your computer, right? For different
Yeah.
things, right? They all
Yeah.
have different they just because you do the same thing doesn't mean that you're going to just erase one for the other. It has, no matter how nuanced it is, it has a use for it. Oh yeah, I gotta go address Umar shit. Damn. So he thinks that Jim Ryan is chasing a ghost. He's not chasing a ghost. And listen, for the record, how many times did all of you in the panel ever change your fucking mind about something? Maybe you saw something that was like, you know what, it's not working out. That's what a company is going to do. Anybody's going to do that. You may have the intention of one thing, and that shit starts failing, and you make up you change course. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, then we would have never been where we are at now in life and just playing games in general. If businesses just stayed, what they are. If everyone took the Nintendo model, it would have never been this big. Ever. Ever. Things change. It's just this what it is. You say that PC guys don't want another launcher and that they don't want to compete with Steam. Here's the thing: there is nothing that incentivizes you to go to another launcher other than price. And let's remember, content is always key. Netflix is in competition with Hulu, right? In order for them to differentiate itself, they have to have content, exclusive content. If they make a launcher, because Epic don't have exclusive games like that other than what is it, Fortnite, and they don't want to take that away from the Steam users. You know what I'm saying, or console peoples. So there's no exclusive content. There's no incentive to use another launcher. But if there's another, and then you look at EA games, right? They have their own launcher. Their launcher, their prime game that they have is really what? Battlefield. Same thing with Activision, Call of Duty. You have one game. Imagine if you have 10 games that are exclusive. It automatically makes that launcher more attractive in general. And if you buy a game on the PlayStation launcher and you can pick up a PlayStation and still play it, like let's say, right, I was playing Horizon Forbidden West, right? And I went on vacation to visit a friend. Let's say I visited Tay, and he has a beastie ass computer. I can literally just load up the launcher and continue where I left off. That's the type of synergy that Black was kind of talking about, yo. If they do some shit like that, yo, Steam is gonna have a problem. Steam is gonna have to start making games at this point in time that make it useful. Right now, there's no real reason to go anywhere else. Going back to PC versus cell phones, a cell phone has a use that the PC could never dip into, and vice versa. None of them cross-pollinate. I can't stress that enough. They don't cross-pollinate. They don't cross-pollinate. I have a browser here. I don't want to browse on my computer, but I'll use this here. I would rather have a keyboard and mouse to play it. And be honest with you, I was in one of the spaces before. There are some PC fans that don't like controllers, period. They like the keyboard and mouse. That's it. There's nothing wrong with that. They will never go to a console. So why not get them too? You know what I'm saying? Cater to them to a certain degree. All right, so let me just read off all the other things here. PC guys hate Epic. They want everything on Steam. Yeah, because they don't give them incentive, right? Open their own store.
Comparing Epic, why do people keep on bringing up the Epic shit or these other launchers? Those other launchers don't have any exclusives. They don't make content, bro.
They're booty.
They don't make no fucking content. They don't have nothing to pull you away from Steam. They don't have those things. So if you have somebody that has those things, then they have power. Then they have some type of leverage.
Even if they did, fucking trust me when I tell you, Steam is not going to be fucking slowing down anytime soon. Even if Epic or God,
I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. But y'all talking about a business that's been they have a fucking basically a monopoly when it comes to digital sales for decades. And now if somebody's going to break into that market, bro, it's a possibility. Y'all acting like it can't happen. All they got to do is to rest on their laurels. All they got to do is rest on their laurels and then get lazy like they're doing now because they ain't doing shit. Steam ain't all that, bro. Like I sit on Steam, I'm like, okay, it's cool, it's convenient. But what if somebody providing you something that you really want, bro? You're gonna go for it. You know what I'm saying? The same reason I got a fucking PC so I could play those PC games that's not on PlayStation. You're gonna go where you want the games at. Same reason I got the Switch. I can only play Pokemon on Switch. I picked up the fucking Switch. You're not gonna let the little boundary from hitting one button to download the app from prevent you from playing the game. There may be some motherfuckers out there, or most of them may be like, fuck that. I ain't downloading that fucking app. But there are gonna be some of them. Maybe it's 20%, maybe it's 15% or 10%. But that's a good start.
But it's 10 and 50% more than what you had before.
Exactly, and that's a really good start, bro.
Y'all not looking at it in general. Ultimately, Steam stopped making games. That's what's fucking them up. People thought that Sony would never have a chance in hell. It was an ice cube in fucking hell. That's the chances that people gave Sony when they joined the industry, the gaming industry. And look where it's at now. You never fucking know. You can't say never with any fucking thing. They are resting on their laurels because they're the only fucking people there, and they kind of know it. Now, what makes it lucrative, see, they're caught in a catch-22. They want extra games, Steam, but at the same time, they already know that Sony is trying to compete with them. They already know this shit, and it's going to take time, and Sony knows that shit too. Competition is good on all fronts. You know how people always say, competition is good. That's why Xbox should do this. Competition is good on PC too. It's going to finally get Valve start making games. The beautiful game that they made in the past. All right, so I'm going to continue to read this shit. Let me see here. Nobody uses Microsoft Store on PC. Microsoft has their own exclusive. They add fucking spyware and all sorts of shit that make it really fucking difficult for you to use their storefront. That's and then their games are not even compelling on top of it. It just isn't.
Yeah, when I go on when I use
Not too
launch the
much,
Game Pass,
okay.
I use the Xbox app. I know that you're able to launch their games off of Steam. I don't do that shit. I use the Xbox shit. It's trash, but when I do play it, I use that. I don't do that little step from going from Xbox's app to Steam. I don't want to bother with that shit. That's why I do it.
Yep.
So I don't know who y'all saying nobody. If I'm nobody, then
Well,
I'm that small percentage. I'm a part of that small percentage of people who don't want to do that shit.
Since Microsoft started putting their games, they started off not putting their games on Steam. Yeah, because they thought that their content was going to pull people away. They don't have compelling content for doing it. And you can say that, oh, it's subjective. The numbers fucking count. Nobody was buying their shit, period. You got Minecraft, and Minecraft was already big before they got to it. Anyway.
They big on giving up, bro. Like, come on, they gave up. They put their games on PC, bro. They saw that the shit wasn't working on the app.
One at a time. One at a time. One at a time.
My bad. I didn't mean to cut them off.
No, I'm just saying whoever was talking, one at a time.
Fatal, you was talking?
I was just saying, fucking. So Halo wasn't compelling during the 360 when that shit was fucking sound like gangbang.
I'm saying on PC. PC. Is there Halo 3 yet on PC? Or is the Master Chief Collection, right? Just now.
Yeah.
And they fumbled the fuck out of that.
Well, on consoles they did.
And it's one game. It's one game out of all of them. Out of all the games they have. They have one is not going to cut it. It's not. And their prices are the same. They're like, people are not going to just lift up their whole shit for one singular game. You have to do more than that. That's what I mean. The numbers speak for itself, Fatal. The numbers speak for itself. You can think that it is.
I feel you, dude. It's just a real shame, man. It's such a shame to see that Infinite's actually,
I'm just saying you can get mad. You can get
on Steam, but
you can get mad at me or whatever the case is. But the numbers speak for itself.
Why would I get mad?
I'm just saying.
Why would I get upset? That makes no sense.
I'm speaking through you. Not people. I mean, people are looking at this shit as like, oh well, it's just your opinion, man. I mean, it is what it is. Let me take a look here. Let me see. They got mad.
If you find their games not to be compelling, then yeah,
you're not gonna buy it. I'm saying that their games are not compelling based off of the statistics. It's not compelling enough because people are not using that more or even an equal rate.
So why do they have so many franchises on the PC side that continue to keep getting fucking releases all the time? If they weren't compelling, they wouldn't be getting sequels.
My question is this: why are people not choosing Microsoft Store over the Steam? That's my question.
Oh, I don't know about that.
That's my point. I'm not talking about their games individually.
The games itself. I didn't know you were talking about the storefront.
No, I'm talking about the storefront. Why would you use it over?
Yeah, okay, well, never mind. I thought you were talking about the game.
No.
Oh,
I'm just talking about the numbers. Let me see here. They get mad when Epic uses their own exclusives. I have to use Epic storefront. Yeah, because there's nothing compelling on it. What are you using Epic for? It was cheaper at one point, and they stopped that shit because it wasted a lot of money to compete with Steam. So they're fighting somebody. They're fighting something that they won't win. That's what people said that Sony was doing. Sony was fighting the juggernaut of Nintendo, and that didn't happen. You can't just be stuck in a mindset. PC guys aren't console players, and you're right. Those guys say no straight away to Microsoft when they tried to change them to online. So here's the thing. This is the point that I'm trying to make. A console is not a PC, which is not a cell phone. That's what I'm saying. Killer Tay, I'm not sure if you're there. Are you still there? Oh, he's probably out there. So let me move on to Black, yo. So my question to you is, do you think that the console can pull people away from PC players or vice versa?
It's not in a wide capacity. It's gonna be a small percentage of people that are willing to make that move.
I'm talking about majority. So the answer could be yes or no because it's
majority. I think
rules.
yes, but I have to put context to it. I don't think it's like a big capacity of people that are willing to make that move. I think that it's enough depending on what your goal is. If it's if it's a small percentage of users and that's your goal, then that's what it is.
Okay.
But yes, to answer your question, yes.
Hey, yo, can you mute your mic?
Yes, guys.
Let me have to mute him.
Unmute your mic.
I mean, yo, shut the fuck up. I mute him. All right, just so I don't have the extra shit going on in the background. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, I muted myself. Shit. Hold on,
How you do that shit?
I'm fucking up. Hold on. Wait.
I just like I said, I just got. I was like, oh,
Yo, Ed. Yo, Ed. All right. Use your mic, please. Okay, cool. So you believe it. You believe it. And how would they be able to pull? How would they be able to pull it? How would PC players be able to pull from console players? Or how would console players be able to pull from the PC? How would they be able to do that?
I don't know how PC will be able to pull from console, but I could tell you how consoles can pull from PC. So Sony's been doing it. You see it every day. There's new console players. There are people who are on PC that went and bought PlayStations to play Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a bunch of them, you know what I'm saying? But there's still people out there. You know about them. It was like, oh, that's my Bloodborne machine. Those are the same people out there that saying the Bloodborne machine. Those are the guys that left PC that went to go play PlayStation, or even the Xbox and Nintendo guys that left those consoles or that ecosystem to play those games on PlayStation. And there's other cases for that when it comes to other games that PlayStation offers. The Last of Us. You know what I'm saying? So those exclusives have brought in people over. You guys might not think it's a bunch of people, but those numbers matter, bro, at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It gets them to buy those systems, and then it's like, okay, shit, since I got the Bloodborne machine, I might as well go try this other game out, because that looked kind of interesting too. You know what I'm saying? That's another purchase. You know what I'm saying? Once you get into that ecosystem, then it opens up opportunity for you to try other shit. You know what I'm saying? So those little couple of numbers do matter at the end of the day. It's not just that one game. It's the other games that they have the opportunity to play later on.
Okay. What about you, Fado? Do you think they can pull from each other?
Yeah, because it's literally complete. Well, I guess if we're talking on a grand scale, fucking PC to console.
Ooh, it's a conundrum.
No. No. Console to PC? Maybe. Yeah.
No, I agree with you.
Maybe.
I do feel like
it really boils down to people's perspective. Like you said it yourself perfectly earlier there, Magnificent Man. If you want the game, or if you want a game that badly, you're going to buy the console or the platform that it's on, and that's where you're going to go and fucking play it. You know what I mean? Like I get the question though, but I'm just saying, like, really boils down to people's fucking perspective.
Some people will look at
their choices, I guess.
Some people will look at PC games, right? I mean, console games as a PC player. I'm like, I'm not fucking playing that shit. No. I ain't doing that. It ain't that good. I saw that shit on YouTube.
Which one?
No, I'm just saying, that's what people will say. Whatever game it is that's on PlayStation. That ain't that fucking good. Why the fuck would I buy a whole PlayStation for that shit? I don't want it that damn bad. You know what I'm saying? And they will never do it. But guess what? With Sony's model, if they put it on PC, they'll have a chance to experience it. You feel me?
Right.
And they'll be like, oh, I didn't know it was that good. And then you have what you call that again? The fear of missing out?
FOMO.
FOMO,
yeah. I don't know why I keep saying FOMO.
The fear of missing out is strong. It's strong. Especially nowadays. People are even more impatient. Killer Tay, are you there?
Bastard.
He probably passed out from alcohol. What about you, Ed?
More likely he's probably on the phone, because I think isn't he out tonight on the road?
Mm-hmm. What about you, Ed? Yo, Ed, are you there? Nope. Does anyone have anything extra to say about the utility of each platform and how they differ?
Yeah. I get
Okay.
you.
Huh? What you say? What you say? Black?
Yeah. Edward's talking. He
Oh shit! Oh shit!
unmute his mic, please. You had some background noise. He had to mute you.
I didn't know it muted them like that. Oh, it muted them all together. Okay. Yo, you there, Ed?
That. You're
Yep.
fucked up. No, I'm playing. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Well, next time.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, good.
All right, bet. No, I think it will bridge the gap, and I'll just use one item that's coming out that nobody seems to be talking about or thinking about, and that's the Steam Deck. To be able to play PlayStation exclusives on the go, and how many people have already pre-ordered it? I'm one of them. And to be able to do that, because a lot of people are actually they want another handheld, right, from PlayStation, but why not utilize that with the Steam Deck? Because you're going to be able to do that with PlayStation PC.
Ooh, he's
Right
on to
there.
something. He's on to something, Josh. Because Yoshida tweeted that fucking photo out. Was it not today? There's Psycho, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but that was what Yoshida posted wasn't the Steam Deck. It was the other. There's another thing just like the Steam Deck that's already out.
It was
But I
on
know what you're talking
Steam.
about.
What
Yeah.
operating system was it?
Let me get the name of it. I was just looking at it the other day. Give me a second here.
But it makes sense that Sony is doing this right now as this hardware is about to drop. At least that's the way I look at it, right?
Yeah, no, that's actually a very, very good, interesting point. That's something that everybody's overlooked too.
Right.
Imagine if they had a launcher.
Well, even if they don't have a launcher yet and they roll that out later, you're still getting your PlayStation games through Steam, which is that's their hardware, right? And the one thing that Sony and Microsoft, they don't have a handheld device, right? But why even create that where they don't have to lose profit when another company like Steam, who has the user base, who's going to purchase this, and you offer that on their service like Steam, where you can get their games, where you can play God of War and Last of Us, or excuse me, not Last of Us, not yet. We know that's going to happen soon, but Uncharted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention Bloodborne. If that's going to get a PC release as well, it's a smart play. Then people can play with it on the go. Which I don't know about you. I'm not playing no Bloodborne on no cell phone. I'd rather have it with a joy or like with analog sticks, the buttons. You know what I mean? So I think that's where the bridge of the gap is going to be between PlayStation and PC is with this hardware. At least it's going to help out a little bit.
And you want to know something too, and that's a good point. The reason why I said PC versus cell phones is because they're radically different. They don't encroach. They don't cannibalize each other. There's different utilities for each. You know what I mean? I'm in the camp of saying there is a use for consoles. And we already know it's cheap. You know what I'm saying? If you want an SSD that's like two terabytes, that's a third of the console, half the console price right now. Whether you get the terabyte, whether you get the SSD on a PC or not, it's $200. And you can buy a whole PlayStation for $400. That's not including, everybody gonna say, I use my TV, so I don't need a monitor. Okay, fine. How much is that motherboard you gonna pay for? What, 130? So right now, you got 130. What about the processor? 200?
Ooh.
Okay, GPU, let's say 400 without the inflation.
Especially if you want ray tracing.
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
I sorry to interrupt. My bad, Fatal. You was right about the Steam Deck, but he also got another item up there. Which
I
is
saw
the
that too. I saw
GPD
it
win.
too.
Yeah, because
I put it in the chat just in case
he was
you want
literally
to see it.
talking about like somebody at Valve set him an early one and shit like that, man. Like, what a perfect way to display that. Because when
that's dope.
fucking Psycho said that shit, man, it's like, holy fuck. That explains, like, it could very well be like an implication as to why Yoshida tweeted that out.
I think if they make another hardware, then that launcher will be perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It'd be perfect, and on top of it, they can finally get in the game of handhelds again. You know what I mean? Consequently, Dragon Sword, Shy Guy, right? That's what I'm gonna call this nigga, Shy Guy. He gave me something in my Discord. He showed the percentage of people who uses the Switch, and 65% of the people in that test that they run use it docked. Interesting. There's some things when you're on when you're on a move, it just doesn't feel right playing a game on a move like that. You want to be in the comfort of your own home. You know what I mean? You know, people can say you can put your PC in your living room and sit on the couch. Nah, that's too much, and it's loud. But going back to what I was saying, we're gonna it is. They talk about the PS5.
No, I'm agreeing. Yeah, that's why I'm laughing.
So let's do the math here. You already have your TV. Your TV works as a monitor, right? And I'm gonna get into it, right? I'm gonna get into it. So let me take a look here. Hold on. Hold up. 'Cause I suck at math. I always have. So let's say you wanted to build a nice little PC, right? You buy a 2 terabyte SSD. That's $200. $130 for the motherboard. So you're at 330 right now. For the CPU, you're probably at 230. I'm being really modest right now. So right now you're at $560 before taxes, by the way, right? You need a GPU. Let's say $400, right? That's already $960, right? Now you need a cooling device, or you need you need to put heatsink. How much is a heatsink? Do anyone know? Does
Depends on
it?
the brand.
What is it?
Depends on the brand.
Oh, Tay's back. Yo, what's good, man?
My bad. I had to put the baby to sleep.
Nigga took a shit. How much is a heatsink for PC?
It depends. Most of the time, they come with whatever part the heatsink is needed for.
Does it come with the GPU or the CPU?
It comes with a CPU sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it comes with your RAM, depending on what pack.
Usually, the GPU one is built in.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you're at $1,000 basically. Oh, you need RAM too? Oh, you have 16 gigabytes? Now that won't cut it for PC because the software is not catered to just one rig. So maybe you need 32. So right, you may need 32. How much is RAM? 200?
Depends.
Lowest.
32, yeah, it's about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right now you're already at 1,100. Let's just say you already had a GPU. You had a motherboard too, right? Okay, cool. So you can you're gonna spend like $600. You're gonna spend $600 trying to create something that emulates the PC the PS5 or the next generation consoles in general, where you can just buy a $400 console and keep it the fuck pushing, right? Another thing is too, people are worried about Sony not innovating when it comes to the next console if they're so focused on PC, right? No, because again, if you work on piss poor hardware just to get the console to be cheap, and especially the model that they're using to have the games go back and forth or to port the games over, that game needs to keep up with the Joneses with the GPU and vice versa. So they got to future proof the PS5. They have to. They got to future proof it. And it's what they've done with the PS5 and their SSD and IO throughput. And just what it is. When people look at the stats, oh, it's overclocked. Well, it seems to be kicking the fucking Series X's ass with that overclocked ass PC or overclocked APUs. Killer Tay, I wanted to ask you a question.
What's that?
Do you think PC consoles, like what are the difference between PC consoles and cell phones in terms of functionality, global functionality?
PCs are upgradable. Cell phones are upgradable due to them coming out every year. Consoles, you're basically stuck with it until the next generation of consoles.
In terms of functionality, do you use your cell phone more or your PC more?
I use my cell phone more,
because
not
you're
for
always
gaming.
because you're on the go. And
Yeah.
can't you game on your cell phone?
Yes, I can if I decide to get Game Pass. But I don't have I don't have Game Pass Ultimate
Mm-hmm.
because I use my Vita on the road.
My nigga. That's a beastie ass device, man. Y'all don't know, man. That's a damn shame that the Vita. No
Yeah,
one
that's
liked that
PlayStation.
shit. I know.
That's
Well,
PlayStation.
it's a little bit of both. They didn't have the reputation that they have now, and people weren't.
What,
They didn't.
when the Vita came out,
Hmm.
the Vita came out at the end of the PS3 cycle,
I know, but again,
and it should have fucking blew up during the PS4 cycle.
they were focused. They were trying to focus on the PS4 because that's where the moneymaker was going to be. And
Yo,
then,
that look on your face, Tay.
what you
Yeah,
say?
dude, they should have blew up. They didn't have the They didn't have the focus. I mean, the reputation.
But realize
They
though,
had all the reputation in the PS4 fucking
their
era.
PS4 extra solidified them. Now I will say this: the 3DS was suffering as well when it launched. They had to drop the price like $100 for that shit to
Yeah,
sell.
that shit was way overpriced.
The 3DS was too much. Yeah, the 3DS was way overpriced, and when they realized that, they dropped the price,
Now and
and then
because
that shit skyrocketed.
Then that shit fucking flew off the shelves.
Yeah. You know
Yeah.
what?
I know. I bought myself one too,
PlayStation-
man.
You know what? PlayStation fucked themselves over when they came out with the 3G fucking version of fucking the Vita, right?
yeah,
only
yes,
going
yes.
And only going to AT&T with it. That's where they fucked themselves over with the Vita.
Yep.
If they had to just drop that fucking AT&T bullshit and had it to where it was all cell phone companies, that shit would have took off. So
That memory card
PlayStation
should
killed
fuck
the
them up
Vita on their
too.
own.
It costs money to actually get sponsored like that.
Yeah.
That's by the way. So like that's why some cell phones like the Google Pixel, it costs money to have a store like the partner with them. I'm not sure what the logistics are, but I know it costs money.
No. It's only a cell phone line.
No, I'm saying that if you again because it has cell phone components in there, but that shit costs money for the manufacturer of that device. That's why the Google Pixel was like was suffering. Be that as it may, every device that I'm mentioning has its own functionality. The convenience of a console, the price of a console. You got 3D sound on the PS5. You know what I'm saying? That's that.
Ooh.
You know,
I got Dolby Atmos on my fucking cell phone.
don't you pay? Don't you pay money for that? Don't you pay money for that? Don't you pay
No.
money?
No,
It's a subscription fee for that.
not for my cell phone.
Why?
Not for the cell
Oh,
phone.
because it comes with your plan.
Yeah.
Well,
The fuck?
if you get it by itself, then it doesn't. You have to pay for
For
that.
the console, yeah.
Well, for anything, if it's console or if it's like the hardware
Unless I
itself.
buy like the a surround sound that has the Dolby fucking the Dolby Atmos in it. I don't
Right.
have to pay for that.
Right. That's what I mean. So I mean, but it comes natively in a $400 package. The controller they advanced in there. You don't have to buy a keyboard and mouse or anything of that
Yeah,
nature.
but that's one time payment though.
I know, but it's
That's
still
not-
money. It's still money that you have to pay for. You just buy the box and keep it moving. What I'm saying is that the price is always going to be cheaper than buying a PC or building it or a pre-built or whatever the case is. The bottom line is this: consoles work as a pre-built computer at this point. That's what they are now. They've been trying to do that for so long, and finally they have succeeded with the Series X and the PS5. It's a pre-built computer. Let's keep it 100. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, which is fine. You know what I mean? But what I believe is going to happen. This is moving on to our third and final subject, right? What I believe is going to happen is that there's going to be exclusive content on the PS5 that you can't get on the PC. That is not going to be games. Now,
Why is it not going to be games?
because they already doing that day and date shit. So it's not going to be the games. What I think it is going to be literally the operating system. So here's what I believe. And if you don't have a PS5, you won't know about this. But I'll try to explain it to the best of my ability. The PS5 has built into its hardware these things called cards. These cards are executables, essentially. They're little programs that you can tie conditions to. Now, at the moment, only the developers can tie these conditions to these cards. Something like trophy tracking or things of that nature, right? You also have on PSN the ability to go on, if you pay for PlayStation Plus, you can see strategy guides for each place in the video game that you're playing. And it'll play a video and everything for those select games, should the developer choose to do it. You also have the fact that you can watch each other play games. I did it yesterday with that guy Ken. He wanted to show me something that was in Kana. And it's those type of features. The ability to stream your games as well, all in one box without having to fuck around with shit. All of that is convenience in a $400 box. So I think all of that together, activity cards, correct. What I think Sony is going to end up doing is allowing the user, if you pay for PlayStation Plus, to make your own activity cards that you can share with your friends or people that's on your PlayStation list. So I made up a Returnal, basically a Returnal challenge. Now imagine if I made that challenge within PlayStation activity cards and sent it to you, More or Magnificent Black, or any of my friends. Or that would be pretty cool, you know what I mean? And everybody can share it. Or better yet, I created, like, let's say that Magnificent Black didn't know how to get a particular scout log in this particular area. I'll tell him, where are you at Echo Ruins? And I'll make a video with the microphone built into the controller and say, hey, I walked over here and this is where it's at. And then send him that activity card. Those type of exclusive things is what I'm referring to. That would make it worthwhile to have the console over PC or any other device that plays video games.
Yeah, I can just share my screen and have it done that way
Yeah,
too.
but and that when that PC dudes would just go to YouTube or Twitch.
It's different when you have your friend telling you it. Because I'm gonna tell you right now,
Yeah,
there's some
I mean,
things.
yeah, it is
'cause you-
different. Yeah,
Because you can make a very specific video for your friend. You know how your friends work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how fucking goofy I am or whatever the case is. And Black knows that I like things to be explained. And sometimes you go through YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube. We could be playing Guilty Gear Strive.
Yeah,
And
but
he could be like, huh?
yeah, but you forget we were talking about PC dudes.
And you forget,
And
I'm talking about convenience.
They're used to. Yeah, but the PC dudes are used to shit like this.
What program does that on PC?
YouTube.
No. I'm talking about built into its operating system.
They don't need it built into their operating
But
system.
you also don't need a lot of things that you use conveniently. You don't need your phone.
Yeah, but
You can use a laptop.
That's not going to be an incentive for PC dudes.
I'm not. That's the thing. I'm not trying. What Sony is trying to do, or not trying to do, is pull people from PC. I truly believe that they're not trying to pull people from PC. Period. I think that they just want people to just buy their console and buy their games. That's about as far as it goes. That's what I believe.
This would be an incentive for console people to stay on consoles.
That's what I believe.
That's what. Oh, okay. Now I get what you're saying. Now, okay.
Because it's like, oh, I gotta go on YouTube. I could have did that on my phone or whatever like that. But if you have your friend, Magnificent Black, has literally sent me an activity card showing me this is the fucking combo with Faust that you seem not to fucking understand. Here you fucking go. You do this, this, and this.
Yeah,
Over
why
here.
you gotta use the fucking Hey,
But
hey,
that'd be
we had a heated discussion the other day. Is the fucking you fucking this nigga throwing shots at me, dog? Hold up, man.
Yeah.
You should have heard that nigga, yo. I was like, yo, how do you do that? I'm getting my ass whooped by fucking Giovanna and shit like that, yo. And he's like, oh, don't forget, yo, you got to do the meaty, and then you got to do overhead ham cap. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Never mind. I'll just show you. I was like, now you could just make an activity card, just send that shit to me, and I'd be like, and then you set the conditions, right? To put all those inputs together. As soon as I put it together, it will complete the activity card type shit like that. Tay, what do you think about that? Let me go down the list.
I mean, that would be good for console. It would be a good incentive for console dudes to stay on consoles. I don't see PC dudes seeing that as an incentive to not get PlayStation games on PC.
You never know, man. People back then, they used to ride horses and was just fine with that. You know what I mean? I don't need no fucking nothing. I got my old trusty horses. And somebody showed that motherfucker a card. It was like, oh shit.
Like that. Some of them are still like that.
There's going to be like that. There's people that's going to be traditionalists, and that's okay. But for the people that's not, the people that wanted to get to from A to B quickly, they ended up buying a car.
Amish market, Amish mafia.
Man, them niggas. What about you? What about you, Black man? What you think about that? You want to add to the possibilities of the evolution of PSN?
You already know what I think. How PSN should evolve, but we ain't gonna go over that again.
No. I think we should.
But,
go on.
I already said it, though. PSN needs to have the same integration that Xbox. I know a lot of y'all don't like that. Y'all don't use that app on Xbox on PC.
But you mean like on PC?
I think that shit's dope. I loved when I got my Killer Instinct. I booted up Killer Instinct on Game Pass, and my save was there, bro. From my Xbox One X. That shit's there, bro.
But
you ain't gotta go looking for that shit. It's all integrated, bro.
But
that's dope.
But keeping it contained in the console space, what would you prefer?
Updates to PSN?
But I mean, it's still contained in the Xbox.
No, I mean like he's talking about moving this shit to PC or whatever the case is. But like, let's just say PC didn't exist.
So you talking about just upgrades to PSN beyond just the PlayStation Network integration with PC?
Correct. Like, let's say that PC didn't exist.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I can't think of nothing right now.
What do you think about what you think about the activity cards?
I think that's a dope ass idea. Being able to send your friends challenges or just some type of goal or that they were challenging. And I think they do like some type of they like put out one of those what do you call it? Those copyrights, whatever they call those. They put them out for the idea.
We spoke about that.
Something like that.
Yeah, like months ago. Yep.
Yeah, they did something like that. Like so that may be something that's in the works actually.
This is why I'm saying. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Yeah. Fado, what do you think about if PC didn't exist? What could Sony do with PSN? In your professional opinion?
Not really much.
Okay. What about you, Ed?
I got you. I got a lot. You ready?
Excellent.
All right. So, like I had stated earlier, game trials definitely. Which is going to be a thing.
Elaborate on that. What did you mean by that when you were speaking on it?
So, think of like any game that comes out PlayStation Studio or not, third party. That you get a game trial, not for like a couple of hours, because I don't know if you guys tried like the Resident Evil demo where you had like a specific time slot to play the game or the demo, and it was only like for an hour, and then after that it was done and over with. Now, like knowing the game trials that they're running over in like I forget the countries that they're testing this out in. It starts when you first download it, which, depending on the size of the game and your internet speed, that could be like I think Death Stranding was a good example, right? I think it was like 8 hours that you got to play, or 6 hours. But if somebody has like crappy internet, then it's going to take them, anywhere from 2 to 4 hours to download it, and then they only get, 2 to 4 hours to play it. So if they like remove that cap, we'll say, where the demo doesn't start until you actually start the game and you're able to play that, it's a good thing, right? Because you can't really go out and renting video games is very few and far between unless you have like a GameFly account.
I think you still
And
have
even
Redbox,
then,
right?
But what
yeah, that's still
games?
available,
What
but it's only
games
a
did
little.
that?
As far as the game trial,
Yeah.
so far from what my understanding is, and from hearing the news, it's been Death Stranding, and I want to say Sackboy: Bigger Venture.
I think so.
Those are the two big games right now.
Death Stranding's demo also added the time that it took to download the game.
Yeah, so it didn't start like if you downloaded the game, like as soon as you downloaded the game trial, it started as soon as the game started downloading. It didn't start when you started the actual game, like your gameplay.
Okay.
Which
So it didn't take gameplay time. It took
No,
the time
the time that you installed
download
it.
and gameplay.
Now, I'm not sure if that's a glitch or anything like that, but they did give you like 4 hours. And typically, a demo playthrough is usually 2 hours. So maybe they're accounting for you downloading it. But it's stupid, though. Why don't you just just say after it's done, you only get 2 hours? You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I agree with you with that. And I think Death Stranding, because they were pushing the director's cut, like when it was released, that they were doing this. And again, like that game is slow paced to begin with. I love the game. I haven't finished it, but again, it's a slow paced game, so it gives you like that footing. And then the nice thing is, if you decided to purchase the game like within the demo or after the demo, like you don't have to start all the way from the beginning. It actually saved your saved file, so you would start where you left off, which is really nice. But again, I think like the hiccup with that is like Sony shouldn't cap you to start your demo time when you're downloading the game. It should be when you start the game. So I think, as they're initiating this throughout other countries, that would probably be something that they look at and probably nix as far as like the game demo starting when you start downloading it. But with that in mind, going forward, every title that comes out, like Horizon Zero Dawn, or to get people invested in actually trying the game before spending, because the big topic right now is like $70 for a PlayStation exclusive, which is not cheap, but we all know like the quality behind the titles that PlayStation's producing. I mean, it's me personally, I think it's well vested that it should be $70, even a little bit more, because of the quality that you're getting and the experience that you're getting. But that's on each user and personal opinion on how much they think a game is. But anything going forward that you're able to do that. Not to mention that if Sony also offers and continues to offer like game sharing, letting your friends play a game with you, so they can get that experience as well. So even within the game trial, that, hey, okay, I'm trying this, I'm going to experience it, especially if it's a multiplayer title, that you can say, hey, like Mag, here, try out this game. Maybe it'd be something like as a community that we can all play, or even like, Josh, like, hey, try this game out. Tell me what you think about it. So you're not being burnt out on $70 after you playing the game.
Should be
and then you're
like a time limit on that game sharing thing? Because
I think it should.
Go
ahead.
Game sharing is a thing, and a lot of people that do game share, they can game share the whole fucking game.
Right. I think if it goes in timeline with like the demo, right? If it goes with the timeline of like the demo, right? For however long that demo is, I think that said person or friend that you're game sharing with should have that same amount of time, right? And again, this would need to be linked to a PSN account to verify that person is a PlayStation member, PlayStation Network member, store member, that would continue on with that. And then they can make that decision whether to purchase it and not have to rely on like their friends, like, how they experienced it, that, oh yeah, go ahead and buy that. Because again, it's all user experience that if you want to purchase that. So I think that's one, right?
So isn't it like share
It's like the game. Yes, yeah, exactly that. Share play. One of the the games that used to do that a lot that they promoted was Far Cry. Not using Far Cry 6, I want to say the previous one, but
Okay.
there's other games that have done that as well. So that's one thing that PlayStation can do to involve like the evolution of that. The activity cards and the game help, right? I think it's another thing that they're going to be pushing. Prime example is that Sony right now, well, come November in a couple days, actually, we'll be doing the. Have you guys seen Go for the Throne? I think it's called.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
community. So one of the things that I miss coming from PlayStation 4, PS4 Pro to PlayStation 5 is like the community tab, which is really nice. We can share like your photos, video clips. Well, you know me, creating like videos and stuff like that. I love doing that. But be able to share that within like a community that you have, or creating a community like we're doing here on Discord, and not to mention like Sony has invested in that, which again could bring the whole experience of like the PlayStation in one ecosystem if they offered all this, which I think again will tie into like the PlayStation or the evolution of PSN from a community of like PCs to PlayStation to anything else like Discord, where you have people who show up on like, you know, from Twitter Spaces, where you have like everything integrated into one, where you can share your experience from what you're doing on your console so other people can see that, or intervene in that where they're not able to do that if they're like locked out of not having a PlayStation or a PC is their console or device that they use, or even cell phone. Another thing
Are you
is like,
talking? Hold up. Are you
Okay.
talking about only on PlayStation, or because you can still
Oh.
share your stuff to Twitter from PS5?
oh yeah, no, I'm saying like as a community, like there's different options. I think honestly, like Discord is going to be a huge part of PS5 probably in the next couple, the next year and a half or so, because look at how many people use Discord. And if you are able to incorporate like your activity cards or what you're doing within game when you don't have a PlayStation, because right now within PlayStation, you go to GamerBase and share those things with like your friends and what have you. But if you use Discord, you get that out to multiple people, right? As well as being able
Okay.
to, you know what I'm saying? And then you can also use Twitter or another social media. And that's not even to say like if Discord opens up a way that you can actually stream your gameplay within Discord and then share that out. Or your, again, game sharing and stuff like that. It just seems like PlayStation has moved away and not putting that feature within their new console because they have a bigger platform to push all that stuff out, right?
Okay.
Is the way I look at it.
Okay, I
Another
see what
thing
you're
Another thing that a lot of people haven't been talking about as of late, and I say a lot of people as like influencers, people who follow PlayStation, stuff like that, it's kind of been on the back end. But people tend to forget about like, and I hate to bring them up because I know a lot of people don't like them, but let's say, think about like, and I'm going to use them because they're the one that's pushing like this narrative of Blue Box, right? Best level user experience. I'm still sticking behind this because I think this is going to tie into like what PlayStation's bigger picture is, right? When they say best level user experience, you got to think about like all of the aspects. I mean, I'm looking at it as a puzzle piece or a big puzzle where you have like PlayStation slowly moving on over to PC in a more broader aspect. I've already told you about the Steam Deck of what I think like that move is for them as far as PlayStation Portable without having to invest a lot of money into making the actual hardware, but making it available for people, a lot of people, including PlayStation owners and PC owners, as well as maybe even Xbox users. Because I don't hear Xbox pushing or helping or even mentioning playing Xbox games on the go. As far as like you telling me, because I didn't see the photo or any caption of Yoshida showing off like a handheld and PlayStation being on that.
They do.
on the Steam Deck, you can put Windows on there. So
No,
that would
I
be
believe that.
that would be the same thing as having a portable.
Right, but at the
Xbox
quality
console.
of true, and maybe like when what's the game that Bethesda is making that's supposed to be dropping next year?
Starfield.
That big title,
Uh,
the Star.
Starfield?
What is Thank you. Yes,
Starfield.
and maybe that will be like a push that they do, or you would even think like right now, as far as like Halo goes, that even though the Steam Deck isn't out, that they would mention something like that. But anyway, irregardless of them, the best user level experience, like these puzzle pieces that I'm seeing that PlayStation may be moving towards, is that I think like within like the demo that we saw with the short demo, if you guys looked at the Blue Box trailer, I think leading up to the PlayStation experience that we're going to be seeing, I honestly think in December, I think this is something that we're going to, because they're not going to leave us the rest of the year off of the state of play that we just saw. That's just, I don't think that's in Sony cards. We can all agree to that Sony is not going to leave us like for the rest of the year as Halo drops, as Forza drops. That this is what we get left with until like February. That's just not their style. They're gonna have the last word. We all know this, but
probably gonna be God of War. State of play.
Oh, I definitely think that's gonna get its own showcase for real, right? But I think that like
so far what we have is that, from what I can gather, sharing your game, or what do you call it, the little demos that they have,
the game sharing thing that they've spoke about like going over on other countries right now has not hit us yet. But even the thought that they're offering that is one key that is going to be something that's going to be provided to everyone
if it's successful.
I don't think. Yeah, but what would be the disadvantage of not doing that, right? That you only stand to gain by allowing somebody to try out a game. Not every developer may want to do that, but just look at like
that's exactly the point. Not every developer. Some developers make shitty things, so I don't know how valuable that would be.
But the two titles that they've shown so far have only been, with the exception of PC, and Sackboy: A Big Adventure is not one of those titles right now, has been a PlayStation exclusive, right? So I would assume, this is just me making an assumption, that if these game trials to even be bundled just by Sony's first party is good enough, because those are the ones that they're pushing towards PC, right? So that will give more people incentive to try these games out, because you would think that the reputation.
So only on their actual games.
Their first party and third party, like the ones that are partnering with them.
Okay, so partner.
I would say, you know what I mean.
Games and then their own exclusive stuff. All right, cool.
Right, because you would at least go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out what I want to like to kind of consolidate it. So sharing games with your friends, allowing some sort of like demo situation.
Yes, the game sharing and the game demos that they're offering right now, I think it's going to come at a wider level.
Okay.
I think also there's a lot in the pipeline that just was talked about and then kind of like faded away, as far as like Fidelity FX, up-resing. I mean, we're getting a lot of remakes, or there's rumors a lot of remakes coming out for more modern graphics, like Grand Theft Auto. The trilogy is coming back, but there's a lot of titles in Sony's pipeline that have not been spoke about, even though there's rumors of newer versions of them coming out. But we all know that Sony's backlog, or back catalog, of all of their titles that they've had since PS1 and up to PS3 are there. Even with PlayStation Now, I think there will be a restructuring of that. And it's just funny how like that conversation has kind of went ghost, but I think they're honestly working on that. So I think that's also going to bring something, as well as like the patents that Sony has put out as far as like PlayStation Home, whether it be a VR experience or even just an experience in itself where we're able to access that even from just using your controller and going into a community area, which I think ties into us not having a community because they're working on something new.
The Discord.
It just looks like it looks like they are setting up something huge where we will have everything accessible to us within one ecosystem, and it's going to be in the moniker of like PlayStation, with them buying Evo and probably and possibly being able to stream and watch that on your console, right? I'm just looking at it at a PlayStation standpoint. Being able to stream and even be active within that community and playing possibly those games or being a part of Evo throughout your console without having to sign up or make a team, or maybe you can create a team within your community. Then you have PlayStation Home. Then you have PlayStation backwards compatibility, the best level user experience. Even though people are associating that with Blue Box, I think it's literally PlayStation that's behind it, that's doing it. You just have a lot of pieces of the puzzle that's like in front of you. They're just slowly. They're not going to throw that all out to us. It's only a matter of time before they bring all of that to, you know what I'm saying? Bring that to us.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and that part of what you're saying would be fucking fire, to be honest. But it seems like there'll be a lot of money for infrastructure construction for that.
One more thing, I got you on that. One more thing.
Yeah.
We tend to forget about PlayStation's partnership with Microsoft and Azure and cloud-based stuff.
They're building their own
That
stuff
is
too,
going to be
though. They're still focusing on their own cloud-based stuff too.
Yeah.
Right, but they have the backing of Microsoft to bring this to fruition to a certain extent before they don't need them. You know what I mean? So how can I word this? The PC structure of being able to play PlayStation games on the go with PlayStation PC, I don't know if that's the backing or Azure's being used for that. It could be. We won't know that, and they won't say that, because in saying that Microsoft is helping PlayStation bring PlayStation games to PC is going to be a shit show and a firestorm to begin with, just by them associating those three names, PlayStation, Microsoft, and PC, in the same sentence, right? They're not going to say that, and we'll probably never know that unless somebody comes out here with a technical talk, whether it be like Mark Cerny or anything like that, on how they're being able to cloud-base their games on the go. They'll never say that. But at the same time, maybe that is the tech that is helping them with, like, on the back end of getting these previous games, older games, for their backwards compatibility to be able to work on a server, or however they're going to bring that to us at some point in time. There's just like PlayStation Network is going to offer a lot. We got the Video Pass rumor, and now that PlayStation owns Funimation and Crunchyroll, which is like the two biggest anime companies that are out there, they own that. They have Evo, they have partnership in Discord. There's just a lot of like community, and bringing everybody together in one centralized area where you get all of these. Or even with Netflix partnering with Night School. I can only imagine if Night School was to create, and if you guys ever played like After Party or Oxenfree, heavily driven narrative games, right? Imagine if Night School was to take an IP, right, and partner up with like a Ghost of Tsushima or a God of War in a narrative sense, right? Or even like Uncharted, Spider-Man. It doesn't have to be graphical, because we are very are like how Insomniac Spider-Man is. But if Netflix and Sony were to collaborate and bring you a narrative-based game, because I can already see Night School probably doing like a Stranger Things game, which would work, right? We already know that would work. But if they partnered up and gave somebody a narrative game, that somebody that doesn't necessarily play games, but more on a narrative sense, where you can give like a story or a timeline or a feature of like Yuna, or what's another good character from another game that isn't based solely off of the main character or the main protagonist from a video game, or Aloy, or you can get somebody that helped Aloy and branch off and give you another aspect of that universe. So, you know what I mean? Like in a narrative sense.
I'm gonna try to consolidate what you're saying, because you gave a lot of information. What I think that would be more plausible, because like what Killer Tay said, it costs money to do. These partnerships are not free, and they want all of the money. What I can logistically see them doing is allowing people to create the activity cards, and you have to have a PlayStation Plus to do it. You know what I'm saying? You won't need a PlayStation Plus
I
on
can see that.
PC. You know what I'm saying? You won't need that on PC because PC stuff is
But if
free.
they want to do that, if they want to do the same thing that console do, they would have to get the PS Plus.
Correct. That's number one. Number two, for their remember the infrastructure is the biggest limiter. I think that if you want to try certain games out, if you want to use the 4-hour capacity or whatever the case is, maybe you can stream the game. You know what I mean? Whatever's there for you to stream for that moment. That way they can limit capacity. They're not going to have you stream any game that you see on PC. I mean, that you see on the store. Only those games that are available for streaming at that time, probably something like that. So you can stream that or download it if you want to do that, and just to test it out if you have the appropriate internet connection. So be able to test out games, be able to integrate with the sharing. In terms of the video pass, I don't know about the video pass. I think they're going to probably try to keep everything gaming. Maybe give you incentive on, like, you get a discount on, on Crunchyroll or whatever the case is. But keeping it all strictly gaming, the cards, the strategy guides that you can pin, that you can give to your friends. So challenges, strategy guides. Maybe there's going to be some sort of PlayStation Home situation where that's only going to be available on, on PlayStation devices. So you may do something of that nature. And I think that just those three things will probably be enough to differentiate it. It's already easier to fuck around with on next generation consoles. It's already easier. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So you don't need to do a ton of things, but just to keep people engaged. You know what I mean? Sharing games is another thing too. I think that it's going to be because you need to have you need to have to sign in on somebody else's shit and back and forth. I think that they're not going to do that where you have to log on, you have to use your friends uh PSN stuff and all that other stuff. I don't think they're going to do that anymore. I think the sharing is going to be like almost they give you a pass. So if you have the game, you be able to give a friend a pass where it would trigger uh the trial run. So if I bought Forbidden West, right? And let's
Mhm.
say Magnificent Black didn't want to play it, or you just wasn't a fan of you wasn't a fan of the Horizon series. I'd be like, well, yo, I really think you should try it out. I really do. Like, we can definitely fuck around with co-op. You're like, I don't want to waste money on there, $70. Well, let me give you the Horizon Forbidden West pass. It'll give you 2 hours. You know what I mean? Then you can try it out and be like, yo, Josh, that shit's fire, yo. I didn't know it was like that. And I didn't know it was co-op, and then you continue to play it. I think you'd be able to give passes to people, probably one pass per user, to make them download those particular games.
Or they could do it the exact way that fucking It Takes Two and A Way Out did it.
I
with
don't
their
know how they
co-op
did it.
pass.
How did they do it?
They did a
Yeah,
co-op pass.
That's
Like,
yeah,
if
that's a
Tay
good
bought the
idea.
game, and if he gave me the co-op pass, I could literally play the entire game with
Yeah.
him. From start
Yeah.
to finish.
I mean, I think that because they want you to still buy games, I think that it is definitely going to be limited. Like, you're not
Yeah,
going
He
to
you
be
would
able
don't,
to.
you
be.
don't
He
own
would.
the
No,
game.
no.
You don't
What
own the
it
game
what
or
it
like
is.
that.
What it is. He would be able to play the whole entirety of the game with me, but he wouldn't unlock any of the achievements or trophies in that game.
Yep.
In order for him to unlock those achievements or trophies,
I
you
have
would
to
have
buy
to
it.
buy the game.
Yeah,
Purchase.
then I'll
I
get them to pop. Yeah.
I feel like, honestly, on some for real shit, I don't think that'll be good for PSN in the eyes of Sony. You know what I mean? Certain games that are
Right.
like kind of risky,
I
I
mean,
think
but they
they
already allowed
because
that
those
game on
games are a
PSN.
little bit risky to, they want as many eyes on those
Yeah,
games.
it's risky. It's risky. Yeah, it is risky.
But for like a
But
large game,
if that person want that acknowledgement that he beat that game, then he would have to buy the game.
and then I think that trophies is not something that everybody is, really down for anyway. This is why they're trying to make the trophies a little easier. I need a blanketed solution, and my blanketed solution is any game, not just co-op games, but any game. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I want Magnificent Black to experience Kana. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'll give any of my friends just one. You can only give one friend a pass for like an hour. You know what I'm saying? Only for first party games. You know what I'm saying? Because you know third party ain't gonna do that shit.
Wait a minute. Ain't that was something that fucking Microsoft was trying to do in 2013 and motherfuckers was shunning that shit?
I don't know. What was it?
Yeah, because hold up. Because in 2013, Xbox was trying to do kind of that exact same thing.
Yeah,
where
like
you
they
could give your
limit-
friends
they limit
or whoever was on your
friends and
family
shit like
fucking
that.
list. Yeah,
Yeah.
they could play the fucking game. They would get achievements and shit too, but they wouldn't own the game. But you can give them a fucking. You can let them like borrow the game for a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
and
that's
they
what Don
could fucking
Metric
play the
was
full
trying to
fucking
get
game.
into, right?
No, I ain't talking about
Yeah.
borrowing the game. Because
Shit
again,
that Don Metric was talking about.
I ain't talking about borrowing
But
the game.
that would be the same. That would be almost kind of the same thing.
But
You're giving them a demo, and the demo would be only for. I mean, the way Microsoft was doing it, it was only for a limited time. They could hold the fucking game only for a limited time because you hold the license for that game. So they would only be able to play it for a certain amount of time. And if they didn't beat it in that certain amount of time, they wouldn't be able to play the game.
I mean, I get that it's similar, but like I said before, it's not the same. You're giving somebody a pass, and that's the end of it. You know what I'm saying? And that pass is only for like an hour or 2 hours or
I'm
whatever.
getting kind of like a deja vu right now.
And I think
I feel
on
like-
top of it, there was
Can I ask
more.
a question?
I had a dream about this conversation. I had a dream about this conversation. We done had this conversation before.
Are you being silly, or are you being you have real deja vu?
Nah, I think
I'm being serious right now. I
Yeah,
think I got a glitch in the
it's the Matrix, nigga.
I actually believe that shit. That is a glitch in the Matrix, dude. Deja vu is definitely
Yeah.
a glitch. It's some bullshit, dude.
I think what deja vu is, yo, because I feel like in the world of quantum theory, you may be experiencing another timeline that your consciousness is probably seeing another
Parallel
timeline.
universe.
Yeah, the parallel universe thing. What were you gonna say, Black?
No, I was gonna say, I see you proposing this new demo thing. What's wrong with share play as it exists today? The one that
The
they,
most
they have.
underrated
Fair
fucking
play.
feature on the PS4, might I say.
already out there.
Yeah, you able to do it on. You can share PlayStation 5 games with PlayStation 4 owners.
Oh yeah, the regular. I forgot about that, but
Yeah,
you know
what's
what?
wrong
Yeah,
with as
that-
it is now?
Man, it's such a shame that Sony fucking didn't emphasize and push that more, because that feature, you can literally fucking ask one of your friends that's playing a game that you have no clue what the fuck it is, and
Yep.
ask them to try it out for fucking 20 minutes. And
Yeah,
you can
that's
stream it to you,
facts.
and you can play it.
I
That's
think
Like
like
literally,
Yeah.
bro, I get
Horizon
people
is
asking
just
me
like
how
what
games
That's
are
what you
every
did with
day.
Returnal, didn't you? That's what you did with Returnal.
Yeah, I did that with Returnal. Yeah, sure. Granted, I wasn't playing it at fucking 60, but hey, I don't give a shit. At least I was still at least fucking happy to play it.
bro, because I would have to have my game running. I'm limited. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, okay, that's the downside. I completely agree
So
with you
I-
on that, Josh. But I'm still thinking, like, I'm still saying, like, I really wish Sony would have pushed that more. Because even let's say, for example, like people like you know, like it's your day off, go online, wherever the case may be, you're popping in a game, fucking whatever, and somebody's like, oh hey, you know, I was thinking about buying that. Is it any good? Be like, oh hey man, you want to try it? I can let you try it through share play. Oh yeah, I forgot about that feature. You know what I mean?
No, I get it,
Like,
but you
it's
still,
an
I'm
easy way
still,
to test drive games, man, without even having to fucking purchase them.
I'm still,
Nobody does it.
I'm still stuck leaving the game running. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, but you
so
only gotta leave it running for like about maybe 20 minutes. But
it,
you
does,
can cut
it
off at
doesn't
any
it
given
doesn't
point.
matter. It's still an inconvenience. That's the whole thing. And
Well,
if
it
it
can
inconven-
be, but at the same time, you're in control of when you cut that limit off.
no, I don't want to be. I just want to set it and forget it. I don't want to. I want to play something else. I don't want to have it because I let my friend play Returnal. He never.
Man, you fucking negative Nancy looking motherfucker.
He never.
Tell that
You see,
motherfucker, hey, listen, man, that's it. That's
Wait,
just a
wait,
little
wait.
taste, man.
wait, hold on. You said
Appetizer.
wait. You call me a negative nigga?
Girl, what you?
He
Oh
said
shit!
that-
Oh
No,
shit!
Josh, no.
What'd you say?
Yo, John. Hey, I heard him say negative Nancy with John. Hey, yo, you say negative?
Yeah.
I question myself.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Did he
Hey,
really say that?
he trying to ruin you, Fatal, bruh.
Man,
He made me
everybody's
question it, and I heard you
always
loud and
fucking,
clear, bro.
man, trying to
Oh,
accuse
he
me
said
of being
nigga,
some
nigga.
racist ass motherfucker. Yo, I get it though.
I said
I
with
get
the
it.
A. I didn't say
Yeah,
with the hard E. I didn't say with the
No,
hard
you know what I
ER.
figured out? You know what I
I
figured
didn't.
out is that you guys aren't wrong, man. Like literally, almost every fucking white motherfucker is a racist motherfucker.
I think everybody. Well, I'm not even gonna get into that because there was a conversation.
No.
I ain't gonna say
I
ain't gonna say
I
who,
get it.
but I ain't gonna say
I get
who.
it.
But the black people can be racist too. But I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, but I mean, within context though. But I'm talking about from us, like from a white perspective, dude. Like, yeah, no, like we fucking trust me. Like, you know what I mean? I be hearing motherfuckers, man, like be walking by people and shit, just dropping the N word like it's fucking nothing or whatever you want to call it, man. Slanger version and the ER version doesn't matter. It's fucking stupid.
I
Yeah,
know
no,
it was
white
in your
people
it
are
was
racist as fuck, dude.
it was in your predictive dictionary. I remember that. So no,
Yeah.
I'm playing. He's not
I
racist.
got a quick comment on the share play thing. So yo, Fado, you right, man. Like they got a missed opportunity with the share play
yeah.
for real.
Oh
Because
yeah.
like even though I have access to it, I don't think about it all the time, and that's bad
Yeah.
marketing on their part. Because
Yeah.
I have friends that hit me up, yo, is that game good? Like they asked me about Melty Blood the other day. I'm like, yo, Melty Blood, shit dope. I said if you like Under Night, you'll like Melty Blood. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think to myself, yo, I share play it to you for 5 minutes. I had time too. I was like, yo, bro, I'll let you try it out. That'll never come to my mind when people ask me if a game is good.
Exactly
Never.
what my good friend fucking Dreadhead Dooley did fucking when he got me to play fucking Horizon for the first time before I bought it. He shared play with me and I played it for 5 minutes. That's all I needed, man. I was like, all right, I'm buying it right now.
Yep. I forget about it. Sometimes my friends got yo, can you share that play with that? I was like, yo, I forgot I could do that. I always have that same reaction every time someone asks me about share play. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I forgot.
Josh, even though for you, man, it's like a time constraint thing, whatever you want to call it, I get that. But I mean, if you make a lot of fucking friends online on PlayStation, dude, and I know a lot of you motherfuckers do. Freaking trust me, like finding people to play a specific game or trying it out, man, is not a difficult thing to do. I used to do it all the time on the PS4, dude.
PlayStation, dude.
Yeah, because
Especially on
Xbox, you don't get that luxury. You don't have the luxury. The only thing that Xbox does have that I wish Sony had was being able to that's limited.
You have that luxury on Xbox. You do have that luxury on it. They just have to add you to their family.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I
Wait,
forgot about that.
how is it like on Xbox?
I forgot about that. Hey, you're right, dude.
How is it on Xbox?
We're like a family fucking.
You want to know how it works on Xbox, the game share thing.
You biting for me.
No, that was just you.
Y'all both sound good to me.
Yeah,
it was just
sounds
me.
clear on my end.
Yeah, he was just biting for me.
Yeah, but, how does that experience work on Xbox? Like how you set that up?
I mean, if you add them to your family fucking plan, right? They'll be able to download the full game and play it as if it was theirs.
That's dope. How is it? Does it limit you the amount of people you can add to your family?
No.
That's dope as fuck. That's dope.
I'm sorry. So I still think, and so people can get their bread, developers can get their bread, because all of that sounds really nice. But ultimately, if you give somebody a whole fucking game, people are going to forego the fucking trophies and be like, or the tag points, and be like, well, I mean, I still play the game. So I think giving somebody a pass, you're saying putting them on to how do you put people on your on his family thing? How do you put them on?
It's you got to go into your settings and add them to the family thing. They have to sign in on their Xbox and your Xbox.
See, that's what I mean. I'm trying to eliminate that. What I'm saying is that you give them an activity.
Yeah,
card. Once
you add them, it's basically what you want. You set it and forget it.
No, I know, but the easier way would be to just give them a card with a pass on there, so you don't have to give them your information. You know what I'm saying?
But you have to get a card every time, so
it's not meant for you to just be giving it out like hotcakes. It's meant for developers to disseminate their game.
I mean,
right?
It's not meant for you.
I get it. But the easier way is the Xbox way because you can just add them
No, the more consumer friendly
and
is the
then
Xbox way for the consumer. But
yeah.
and again, the easier way for me to give you a card as if I'm giving you a message on these systems, and you just click it and it takes you right to the store and say you have 1 hour to play this without me giving. Because I don't have a large family. What if I wanted to give it to like Fatal? I've never met him before. Let's say he had a PS5 and I wanted to give try out, have Fatal try it out. I don't want him
But
to
if
have my
you if
email
you
and
if
shit like
you
that.
if you never met him before, you wouldn't add him regardless.
Bingo.
I've never met you before. You're on my friend list.
Because because you have to you would have to give them your password and everything, and he would have to give you his password. And
No,
everything
no, that's
in
not
order
what
to
I'm
add
saying.
them.
That's what I'm trying to explain. No, on some serious shit. I'm being serious. I mean,
Mhm.
you have a lot of people on your friends list. I would imagine that you haven't met in person. And what I'm saying
Mhm.
is you may be close to them, but not close to them. And maybe you just want them to play, you want them to play the game. So let's say Dying Light 2 comes out and Sony has like a deal with them. I'll give you the card and it just takes you to the store without me sharing personal information at all. That way you
Yeah,
can just
but me
download.
personally, if I don't know you like that, like I know y'all on here, nah.
Yeah.
How
You gonna
like
have to.
see
You gonna have to.
this
You
is
just
what
gonna
I
have
mean.
to.
This is what
You just gonna have to.
he
Yo,
botting.
hey,
That's
I'm
what it
just.
is.
I'm
He
no,
bot
no,
he
no, no,
botting.
no. I'm just
You,
saying. I'm just
yo,
saying.
you see
That's
what I'm
just me.
saying, Magnificent? You see what I'm saying?
I'm just saying. That's just me. If I don't know, if
Look,
I don't know,
see,
I
botting.
don't know them. Like even though I haven't met y'all, but I've been conversating with y'all for a long fucking time, so it's like I know y'all. So I would
Yeah, no, I see his
be
point.
able. I would be able to give you my password and everything
I don't
in
want
order to
look. I
add you
know
to my
people,
family
but
plan on Xbox.
I know people I
Right?
don't want to give my
For you to do.
password to. My email is important to
And
me.
yeah, I got people like that too.
But I'll be
It's like
still like
this is
I wouldn't give you
motherfucker that
my
I know that was
password.
in the army.
Like I wouldn't give
This is
you
a
my
motherfucker
password.
it's only one person that I know I wouldn't give my fucking password to that I deployed with because motherfucker, I don't really like you like that. But I know you. I just don't like you like that. So if you want to try the game, you're gonna have to go buy it, motherfucker, or rent it for borrow it from somebody.
But
But
ultimately,
motherfucker, you ain't getting my password or nothing.
ultimately it helps out the gamer. I mean, it helps out the developer because more eyes and more hands are on their game. If I get Dying Light,
Yeah.
and if I have somebody that I partially kind of fuck with but don't really fuck with, you know what I'm saying? I'll be able to just give them the
Yeah.
card without me giving my personal information. Play an hour of co-op. Be like, yo, do you see how good the game is? Do you want to buy it? Bet. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
a good alternative. That's a good alternative. Send a nigga a little demo. Say, you ain't day one yet, bro. I seen your little slice. You know what I mean?
Pass route, man. You want to test drive shit?
I see your little slice, my nigga. The slice of the slice. Know what I mean?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes
Yeah.
somebody made me buy a couple games that I can't return. Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really
You should have
cool.
went physical, motherfucker. You should have went physical.
You're
You could
right.
trade
You're
that
right.
50
You're right. But I wanted to stay my ass home, man. You're absolutely right. I wanted to stay the fuck home, man. I ain't got time for all that shit. You're right. You're right. I should have bought it physically,
Yeah.
but for the convenience factor, give them the card, you get an hour. If I would have been like, I'm not feeling this shit, I ain't buying that shit. I didn't really like it. You know what I'm saying? Then you can move on or whatever the case is. But my whole point is
Yeah.
having these features built into a console itself, because the only thing that the PC people are getting is the games themselves and maybe the launcher and maybe the trophies. But for the extra other stuff, the community and social features, I feel like that would be a good way to make everything in a homogenous box that you don't have to fucking, you know what I mean? You don't have to buy all these crazy PC parts. You just put $400 down and it's yours. You know what I'm saying? And you're good to go. You know, all you gotta do is plug it in. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's always a use
Plug
for
it in.
old ass. That's what he said at that strip club, yo. He told all them guys that he
You know, I've
said,
never been to a strip
said,
club in my life, so I don't know. Honest to God, truth.
He was like, yo, he turned around and was like, plug it in, plug it in.
Listen, motherfucker, the hell
Oh,
yes, yes, motherfuckers.
That's the gayest thing I would ever heard, yo. I bet I ever heard no shit like that. Damn, my phone died. Yeah, my phone. No, you good. Yo, you heard what I said, yo. I was bad as hell, man. I was bad as hell. That Asian manager that got me fired. That shit had me boiling. I was like, that.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was a gay guy. He was Asian. I was like, that fucking Asian got me fucking fired.
Hey, Asian. Oh my god. Yo,
I'm done, bro.
I'm done.
I
done.
was super upset, man.
Wow.
Don't
And
talk
you
no
call
more,
me a
nigga. Don't
fucking
talk no
racist,
more.
motherfucker.
Jesus Christ.
This motherfucker said Asian.
That was bad as a motherfucker. That
Oh,
motherfucker.
hey, yo.
Yo, he kept sashaying
Oh,
around, yo. Look, he kept
damn.
sashaying around looking for shit.
You said sashaying.
Yeah. All up and down the aisle, these fucking tight ass fucking pants, tight ass shirts.
Oh, would you? Oh, real quick. What did you think of that video I sent you?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's fucking that.
You don't
That
wanna-
is that.
You don't want to speak on it?
No,
You don't want to speak on it?
no. What about the two posts that I've seen, the child support thing?
Oh
What about
yeah,
that?
I see that one. I see that one.
Ugh.
That shit,
That bitch had the
fucking
audacity to say that
Like,
shit.
bitch. And then like, cause when she like an actual lawyer had responded to her and was like, "Yeah, I think we can get this going. I think you got a case here." I was like, "What, bitch?
I
Is you
would've-
fucking crazy?
Man,
This
I
nigga, all
would
he did was babysit a friend's baby, and that motherfucker is trying to get child support off of him."
Oh, you didn't hear about that, Black.
Ah,
What's going on?
So
yeah,
he
Black.
sound
Yeah,
as shit.
nigga, you missed that.
So it was a girl, right? She asked a friend's friend to babysit her kid, right? And she was just like, I don't know, it's just so stressful. Actually, let me pull that shit up before we close out.
Oh man,
That shit was out. That shit was
that's
out of
crazy.
control.
Let me tell you about the video I sent him. Right, there's a chick that was like, I don't want no 9-to-5 man. I want a nigga that can go out there and get it. If I need 50,000 today, he need to be able to give it to me.
Yeah. That boils my blood more than what I
I
sent
was like, bitch. But after she said that, she was like, I need him to be like me. Okay, bitch. So you got 50,000, you can just give your man if he needs it. But nobody asked her that fucking question.
you. You know damn well she
So
don't.
they just let her ramble on.
Man,
fucking
they
retarded.
probably let her
No, she
sound
ain't got
stupid.
no 50,000. She barely got 1,000.
So I'm gonna read this, right? She says, "Can you make a male babysitter pay child support?" That's the fucking title. Then she breaks it up. I'm a single mom going to college with my sister. We currently rent at an apartment together. A couple weeks ago, I asked my neighbor, a trustworthy guy, if he could watch the kids for me for 2 hours while I went to class and my sister wasn't home, and he agreed. If he babysits and doesn't accept pay, can I sue him for child support because he took on the fatherly role? I am sure I can convince
you
the
did that.
court.
You did the same thing I did when I
Why would she
First
want to
minute.
do that, bro?
She said, I am sure I can convince the court that he accept the fatherly role. So a lawyer hit her up. I work for child support. The answer is yes and no. It depends on the state. And I think I don't know what state it is. In whatever state, for instance, if one filed for child support and the other alleged father doesn't respond to the letters or paternity, then they will automatically assume paternity. Stoneface.
How does he assume?
Because he didn't take the money. So
Exactly.
he
No,
didn't.
no.
Exactly.
Wait. I'm saying he doing her a favor.
As soon as
right?
You
as
heard
soon
it.
as
You
they had
heard
to
it.
went to
But they're
court,
not married. They
as
don't have
soon
to
as
get
they went
married.
to court,
It's
look,
some
as
nigga.
soon as
Some
they
nigga
went
of a
to court,
neighbor.
I'd have been like, I need a DNA test. I need a DNA
Yeah,
test.
look, they ain't my
No,
kids.
no. That's not what this is. You don't need to be biologically a father.
Or married.
Look, look.
You
It don't
Biden.
matter what state you in. If you
Mhm.
got a DNA test proving that you are not the father, the state cannot make you pay
Oh, so
at
she's
all.
saying he took the fatherly role by not accepting
To be some
money.
type of fucking statute in there, some type of local shit.
That don't make
State law.
yeah,
That's weird.
yeah,
as fuck.
because literally, any woman can put like any woman if the woman they said the father did not put their name on the birth certificate, a woman can put anybody's name on the birth certificate, right?
She
And
can.
that
Mhm.
person would be owed would owe her child support, right? But as soon as he take that DNA test and saying that he's not the father, that shit is all null and void.
The same thing works with The same thing works with I forgot what it is. But yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, most states and court systems, they frown upon a guy looking for child support. They don't want him to find out because it benefits them because they get a
Yep,
cut of that money. That's why they want the system to be what
yep,
it is. And people be wondering.
yep.
My sister said this because you know the guy Anthony Como from New York. This dude finally got arrested for touching a bitch titty.
Anthony Como.
Como, yeah.
Like
About 10 years ago.
unwillingly or
10 years, we don't know, but they can say whatever they want. 10 years ago, he touched her titty, and she came out a couple months ago. So he had to resign from his position as a mayor, or governor, rather. And then, he put somebody else in
damn.
charge, and then all of a sudden they were looking to arrest him. How ridiculous is that? My sister was like, this needs to stop. I said,
That
what?
was your mayor? You said?
No, the New York's mayor.
Oh, the New York mayor. Okay.
So
Shit, that's not as bad as what fucking.
I know Canada has some crazy shit there over there too. But like, I heard about some of the shit in
Yeah.
Canada too. Who that in there?
Rob
I think
Ford.
that old dude just came back.
I don't know. Somebody trying to stream something. Who that?
They
Nah,
said
that's,
Magnificent Black.
I was looking up the guy picture.
Yeah, that's stream. It
I
say
was-
watch stream. Magnificent Black.
You put New York. You
That
put New
motherfucker
York
trying
on.
to stream
No.
some shit.
Nah, I was trying to share you the dude's details. That's all it was.
New York mayor.
Yeah, there you go. I was trying to look up his Wikipedia.
No, I don't think that was.
Anthony Como. He was a mayor, or was he? It says New York Council.
No.
member.
I'm sorry. Governor.
Politician.
New York governor.
Okay.
We looking at you now. You ain't
You
gonna
don't
type
even
it
know
in?
your fucking own politics, bro. What the
The face
fuck
right
is
there?
wrong with you?
That's
No, that ain't him. Put
Okay,
governor.
okay.
Put New York governor. That ain't my governor. I live in a different state. I don't know that nigga, yo, goofy ass looking bitch. That's him.
this guy. I recognize him. I think it's like cocaine.
He do look like that
Cocaine?
shit too. Cocaine.
Cocaine.
I'm gonna accept some blame in nursing home scandal, but the nice cover up. This is Ian, all types of shit.
Yeah, well, he's in a whole bunch of shit, but yeah, homie, he what do you call it? That's what he ended up doing. They got in trouble, and my sister was like, "Yo, like this needs to stop." I was like, "What? Guys groping women?" And she was like, "No. What needs to stop is women being able to," and this is a chick saying it, women be able to recall the past from 15, 20 years ago. That shit is stupid. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that she
Yeah,
should have,
that's dumb as fuck.
but I would have said something about a titty getting grabbed immediately. Matter of fact, as a matter of fact, if he did it the first time and it wasn't on camera, the next time I would have had that shit It's all set up, and I'd be like, "No, stop! I'm just not." Shut up, bitch! And I would have recorded that motherfucker and fucked this shit up. You know what I'm saying? If he got away with it the first time, it wouldn't have been the second time, man. I don't know, man. Hell the fuck no. But yeah. So anyway, that's what I say. Y'all remember when PSN first started? Do y'all remember that?
Yeah, I remember around the time period during the
Yeah.
PS3.
Do you remember?
PS2.
No, PSN
Was
didn't
PS2?
exist. No, it
My
wasn't.
first game I played on PSN was Monster Hunter 1.
That was not PSN. That was what was
That's
that?
just some.
That
That's
was
just
some
some rinky dink
generic. It
shit.
was like
that
some.
was
That was a generic
PSN
thing.
Online,
Nah, I know.
aka
Nope,
PSN Network.
nope. It was not network.
Yeah, it
The
was.
network when PS3 came out that's when they created the network. And be honest with you, you were able to share like what we did yesterday. Black with what was it, Ken? And he shared his PSN. I mean his screen. You were able to do that on the PS3 back then. It was built into the operating system, but our infrastructure wasn't there. And what was else? It was taking up too much system memory for the games, so they never allowed that to work. But the storefront was actually a browser. It was not a part of the fucking. It was not an app. It was a browser back then, and it worked pretty well. And then they made it into an app, and then they made it into like an extra app, like what built into the operating system. Like that's what it is now. But that shit, we didn't even have trophies on PS3 for the first couple of years. They added trophy support in that bitch. So like it came a long way from what it is now. But from what I could see, I think that they're just gonna have one. They need to start advertising it. I think they already are starting to do that shit, advertising it, all the little features, because giving somebody the controller via internet is a big thing. It's a big thing. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for today. We think we had a productive conversation regarding everything. I know.
I certainly did.
I know. What's his name? Fucking Psycho Mantis Edward. He fucking that motherfucker had something to say on that shit, man. He couldn't wait. So, but yeah, all of that. I think that's what's going to happen. That's going to give validity to these consoles in general. I think that's what's going to happen. But yeah, thank you guys. I'm gonna scroll up here. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, I gave you some insight on what they could do. King Push, thank you so much for that. Umar, of course. Edward, you was already in this bitch. Who else was in here? I ain't gonna say nothing to Ken. That nigga's already on PSN, you bitch. You bitch. But anyway, thank you so much, guys. I have a question to ask you all, right? Should I convert this podcast into Spaces and just upload it later?
No,
Who said no?
Yeah.
I did.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Spaces. I don't know. I guess. Well, I would say if you don't have time to make it home to do a podcast, then yeah,
Why not?
Yeah,
Spaces should
I
be
can
like
do
the
that.
backup.
So why
Or Spaces should be like the backup.
So are you saying that the Spaces and the YouTube channel is different but have the same functionality? Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying? Just like
because no, it doesn't have the same functionality. Because YouTube, you can actually watch it if you miss it. Spaces, you can't.
well, I can be recorded. I can upload it later.
What if what
but
happens?
how are you going to
what happened
record
last
it if you're
time?
on How
Yeah,
are you going to record it if you're not at home?
I usually work from home. But you're right though.
But if
I'll
you
keep
yeah.
it as is.
Yeah.
That audio quality on that Spaces be kind of
Yeah, no, you
suspect
can't make that
sometimes
job.
too.
Sorry.
The
Oh, it's
audio
good.
quality. Ooh.
How you going to record
When
it
are
if you're
we
not at
dropping
home?
on Spaces? I will do like a space. I just want to make sure, man. This is some immature mother.
Spaces, you're going to have to, Spaces, you're going to have to like announce because like the people that's not following you on Twitter that follow you on YouTube,
They'll be
they
able to
would
see
need to
that
know.
shit. But you know
They
what
wouldn't
though?
need to know.
If I
Yeah.
do a Spaces, it's going to be sometime during the week, and it's going to be one subject, not like 3. just so you can completely exhaust that and then be done with it. And I may upload that bitch
Yeah.
and
For
do it
like
that
when you
way.
get for like when you get in your tantrums about fucking PlayStation fucking up.
Yeah, that one time we had that shit. Yo, I was mad that, and it's funny because like I did when I was on the PlayStation Culture, and we had our regular, Thursday spaces and shit like that. Well, it was Friday at the time. It was such a breath of fresh air to not have any fanboys and actually admit your actual like feelings on the situation. You know what I mean? Without being like a neutral person. People was like, I get the business structure, but I don't
What a
want that
curse
shit.
word that is.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just interesting to see people's takes on it. It was really nice to see that shit. I gotta still had that nigga too. But I know after this, I'm probably gonna take like a tiny little nap. I have to talk to you guys about something when we get out there. But yo, be easy, guys. In the words of
Peace.
Magnificent Black, be easy.
Meat to meat.